in a beautiful bill.
Well, no, it's politics. And all he did was, all right, let me shrink it down and make it a faster argument.
Please do. Please
If
do.
you want to get your spending bill done, and they were wanting to spend $4 trillion, do you want to go, well, I only want to spend $3 trillion, or do you want to go, hey, how about we keep spending $4 trillion?
Should it depend?
Because then you're going to be like, oh, well, then I'm probably going to get to keep what I want. Sure, let's do $4 trillion.
So, well, I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, if Biden proposed the same thing, then why did the Republicans not get out of his way and let him do it?
You mean the Republic pussies? They ain't getting in nobody's way. That's the whole problem. That's why everybody likes Trump. You can't. Until we actually get some people with a spine, the Republicans have largely been the party of not them. And both sides are guilty of it. I got no respect for a lot of Republicans, and I don't trust any of the Democrats.
Do you trust the president?
You know what? He's my guy for one reason and one reason only. He pisses everybody else off.
I don't disagree with you there. And by the way, you wondered why the Democrats don't get out of his way. Maybe you just kind of answered your own question, but I'm asking you, do you trust him?
For the most part, yeah. And I think it has everything to do with what you were talking about to one of your previous callers. He wants a legacy. I mean, he's got billions of dollars. He's got money. He's got property. He's going down in the history books. And now he's got no alternative other than to fight to make it as potentially good as he can. Because history is going to be written 50 and 100 years after he's gone. So if he's I've heard people say he plays 4D chess and all that. That's crock of crap. He ain't that smart. His kids saved his businesses, and that's fact. Do I think he plays? Now, I'll tell you what he does know how to play. He knows how to play the media game, and the Democrats need to quit trying to compete with him on that stage because they get the shit kicked out of them every time.
Well, but all of that keeps going back to my original statement. Better yet, your original comment about the Democrats need to get out of his way. Do you really expect him to get out of his way when he's treating them like shit like that?
If they did, and they want a political argument in the future that we told you what he said, what he was wanting to do was wrong, but we couldn't stop him because we didn't hold the Senate or the Congress or anything else, the political landslide will go back towards them.
I don't know if I agree with you, and I'll tell you why. If the president is in office doing horrible stuff, and you as his opposition is, as you say, not getting in his way, then when I blame the president for destroying the country, I'm also blaming you for doing nothing to stop it because you didn't get in his way. You didn't try to do anything to stop him from this disastrous path. So you're going to get blamed too.
All right. Well, what's he done that's so horrible that you should get in his way?
I think right now what's going on with the sunset of the healthcare costs is what's pissing people off. I think him threatening to cancel or fighting, but not threatening because he was actually doing it, fighting to prevent SNAP recipients from receiving their assistance just because he could. The government was shut down, but clearly there were reserve funds available. And he was using politics to not help people who are hungry. Do you think he was doing it? Do you think that was a good thing to do?
I actually blame the Democrats for that. They're the ones that voted no on the funding.
Right.
Congress appropriates the money.
Okay. No, but there is an emergency fund that you as president can do without Congress getting together and working together. If they are not cooperating and you got Americans that may potentially go hungry and you have access to other funding, why not help the people out?
I don't have a big problem with that, but if he was going to do that, then he should have secured from the Democrats a Okay, by Friday of next week, you're going to agree.
You don't need the Democrats to feed hungry people. You know the Democrats are fighting. You can keep criticizing and posting pictures of dropping shit on Democrats all you want, but you have access to funds that can help people out. Take care of that and then get back to attacking Democrats. I mean, he actually was fighting with the courts not to help people out.
Well, first off, the courts don't hold power over the administrative branch. I mean, they're there to settle the policy, the arguments, and if they said pay it out, then the money should have been put in escrow. And if he wanted to appeal that, so be it. Now, as far as
he did appeal it. He actually did appeal it.
Well, and what did the court say on appeal?
He went all the way to the Supreme Court and he won. That's why the funding wasn't paid out. He was fighting it.
Well, that is his right.
Okay, but you did ask, and you're right, it is his right. But you did ask, what has he done to piss people off? That's an example of it.
He's done plenty of stuff to piss people off. I asked, what has been so horrible? I mean,
not feeding hungry Americans is not hungry. You can find emergency reasons to send in a National Guard to protect one federal building from being looted in Los Angeles, but 40 million Americans not receiving SNAP, no emergency whatsoever, huh?
I don't know that it was 40 million Americans.
40 million people. I don't care if it's 100 Americans. These are your constituents going hungry.
You know, I give plenty to food banks, churches, and all kinds of places. If a guy is standing next to me and, man, I'm hungry, I'm going to feed him. So I have a lot of issues with a lot of these entitlement programs. And I am not saying that they aren't needed. And I am not saying we need to let hungry people go hungry. That isn't right.
You sure you're not saying that? Because that's what, maybe I'm taking you out of context, but that's kind of what I'm hearing.
Well, that may be what you're hearing. But okay. No, I don't want to see people go hungry. But there are plenty of ways to be fed other than this EBT card is the only way.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you though, why would you, if you have the ability to do it as president, are you going to say no? You need to go to a food bank?
Apparently, that's exactly what he told him.
And do you favor him doing that?
Not for a long term, but if it's a political argument, it's a political argument.
How is it?
Do you think it? I mean, I spent a lot of time in the military. And the way I look at this is I signed up to take the king's coin to do the king's business. And these poor bastards were out there being told to go do the king's business, and they weren't getting the coin. Now, it's okay to sit there and go, but you're going to get it. You know it's coming. Well, you know what? I got issues with that bullshit. Why weren't those guys paid? They are risking their fucking life today sometimes.
Yeah.
And you want to complain about somebody that might be a little hungry? They got a name.
You said somebody that might be a little hungry. But keep going.
I mean, I hate to be harsh. I really do.
You sure? You're doing a good job at it.
Well, I apologize. And I mean, I'm really not. I'm not a harsh person.
Yeah, I don't know. You may not realize it, but you kind of sounded like Mufasa has died and Scar is taking over, but keep going.
No, man. No, we're not going to go Scar level, man.
I don't know. I hear the hyenas in the background. I kind of hear them. You come back around here, we'll kill you. I sound like I hear that.
Well, I mean, I've had a nasty head cold and I'm shot up with freaking, I don't know. I've had like 3 shots in 2 days. One of them's got a lot of steroids. So maybe I'm just feeling a little bit more aggressive than I normally am. I don't know.
All right.
But I mean, I do take umbrage with how the military and flight people, I mean, even just regular employees, I don't think any of this was necessary. There are a lot of people not paid. There are a lot of people that are looking for food stamps or whatever it is to get by. It should have been paid. But everybody's got a part to play in this, and the Democrats are standing on stage going, well, he's got all parts of the government, we can't stop him. But yet it takes the Senate 60 votes, and they knew that they weren't going to allow anybody. You had a few step-offs that did the right thing.
Let me ask you to you this way. Hold on. Let me ask you this way. Because I get you're blaming it on the Democrats and them playing politics. Fine. A lot of people feel the same way you do. But when the Democrats and Republicans are not getting along, I want to ask you, as president and leader of this country, what is Trump's job when those two are not working together as the leader of the country? Does he have any input, requirement, or duty in this at all?
You're gonna have to run that by me again. I did not understand.
Okay, when you got the Senate and Congress on both sides of the aisle fighting against each other, as leader of this great nation, does Trump have any duty or job at all? Right now, the Capitol is divided. The leader of the country, does he have any job in this at all to get things straight?
Yeah, he should be attempting to reach out to the Democrats. However, I do not understand this for the life of me. Everybody, it seems like that Democrat side sees him as the Antichrist simply because he's not from their inside. When if they just kiss his butt for a little bit, he'll give them whatever they want. That much has been proven time and again.
So is he required to reach out to them, or are they required to reach out to him? Because you're talking about they got to kiss his butt.
Well, let me put it to you this way: if I was your political opposite, but I knew that if I dropped a fruit desk on your or a fruit basket on your desk every day because you love fruit, that this next bill I needed $4 million to come to my state. You bet your ass there'd be a fruit basket on your desk every day. And hey, man, well, how about you hit me up with that money I need for this new project? Because I know that's going to influence your decision. Like I like old Mr. Realistic. He's trying. A fruit basket.
I get what you're saying. So in other words, the Democrats should have kissed his ass. I get that. Now you said Trump should have reached out to the other side. Do you think he did his job as leader?
Oh hell no, he's too arrogant. I mean, let's just be honest there too. He ain't gonna reach out to nobody. No, that ain't gonna happen.
So you're admitting during the shutdown he ain't doing his job, but you're blaming it all on the Democrats, while actively admitting the president did not do his own job.
Actually, yeah, he did. What he did was he told the Republicans to do away with the filibuster and just force it through.
No. I asked you that's the Republicans doing something. The Republican Senate and Congress. That's not him. I'm asking you what was his job. You gave me what his job was, and you admitted he didn't do it.
No, he did do his job, though. His recommendation was for the Republicans to do away with the filibuster and just have their own way with everything, which I think is a bad idea as that 50-year mortgage, but in the short term, it was a victory. But I think they were smart for not doing away with it because one day the political tides are going to turn and they're going to wish that filibuster was there.
So either way, whether he did nothing to reach out to the Democrats, as you said, or even asking them to do the filibuster, which you don't agree with, and you think that's a bad idea, how are you suggesting he did a good job and he did his job? You don't like either one of the stances. You're basically saying Trump did not do a good job during the shutdown.
No, I agree with you on that. I mean, I think he did. I think he did what Trump wanted to do.
Right. But he didn't. Well, but he didn't do what needed to be done in your eyes.
Now that's a question all of its own, and I don't know. I really can't answer that because I think it needed to go about exactly the way it did.
Really?
Although I think it needed to go without all the suffering from the other people. I mean, I would be content if everybody got paid and people got their EBT cards and those idiots just sat up there looking at each other.
Good luck on that.
Sit there in impasse.
All right, fair enough, Mr. Realistic. You're living up to your name. You're keeping it as real. We disagree, but not an issue. I appreciate you coming on. My door's always open to you, man. Thank you.
Hey, before I go,
Sure.
you be good to Miss Gangster Grandma, man. You know that's my girl.
All right.
Y'all be good.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Call down Gangsta Grandma. Ain't that one? All right. Well, shit. If that's the case, Gangsta Grandma it is. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Kingpin, I see you there. Good evening, Gangsta.
I can't stand you. You didn't say thank you. You didn't say thank you when I get to go, sorry, black ass.
Why the hell am I getting attacked?
Because I'm attacking you because you don't appreciate shit. I'm coming for your black ass next week because I'm going to start going live.
Okay.
And every time somebody gifts me, I want to say thank you.
I didn't see you gift me. I did not see that.
Okay, I think you need but you did. The other dude don't have. How funny is that, right?
I didn't see it.
Funny.
Gangsta Grandma, thank you. Okay, now let's get.
Fuck you too. Now it's kind of too late, don't you think?
I don't know what.
No. When somebody starts gifting you, you should appreciate it. It's not about the money. It's about you appreciate what they do. You understand me? Because when I start going live next week, I'm going to say thank you. I don't give a damn how much it is. I'm going to say thank you because it's called appreciation.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You sorry ass motherfucker. I'm telling you, I'm PMS today. Not one of you little motherfuckers going to step away. I shit you not. I want to attack all your asses.
Okay. All right. Well, let's actually get to the topic of the show now.
Oh, that's always a topic with you. What you want to talk about? What you complaining about now? The other guest, he might like me, but he was so damn wrong.
What was he wrong about?
About every damn thing. About what? Why do the Democrats? We don't have to. We should step against him because if we don't, motherfuckers ain't gonna get their food stamps and stuff.
Well, he is saying that if the Democrats had just been willing to kiss Trump's ass, we could have got this done a long time ago.
Oh, stop. You know, Trump is so fucking cruel. Trump is fucking cruel. I can't stand that man. And we have to get into the shit fight with the sorry ass, or everybody's going to be fucked up.
Wait. Say that again?
I said, if we don't step into the shit, like, you know how your last caller said that, you know, we'll let him do what he want to do? If that's the damn case, this is going to be a concentration camp.
You don't.
Like, he does not like nobody. He is making money off of the presidency. Well, and these stupid idiots are just letting him do it.
But how do you feel?
The damn Republicans don't have a damn spine.
How do you feel about the fact that many folks will say that all of these politicians make money off the presidency?
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. They're not. Now the Senate's have been writing books and shit. But what Trump is doing is totally fucked up. He could go and give $40 billion to Argentina, but cannot feed his own damn people. And it is 47 million families and students, babies that are in the foster system.
Wait a minute. You don't think that my last guest suggested that Trump is doing some things right. Do you
What is he doing right? Name me something that motherfucker's doing right. Just what? What is he doing right?
I would have loved to have asked him, but I'm going to assume the border's going to be there.
Black ass is the border.
Well, that's part of what he's doing.
That's not nothing. No, you can't even name a policy what that motherfucker did to do anything with the border.
He's standing up for the Republican Party, I'll tell you that much.
He's standing up for shit for his white ass to get more fucking money. That's what that motherfucker's doing. And then shitting on the fucking people that voted for him. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? The same motherfuckers that voted for him, he's shitting on right now.
How?
He is literally
in what way?
Not getting their food stamps. The poor white trash did it. Oh, I gotta vote for him. He's gonna break the grocery down. Oh, I gotta vote for him because he's anti-abortion. Motherfucker, what are you doing now, bitch? He's taking food from your damn badass interbred kids.
And Control Alt repeats says, stimmy check, inflation, easy payment down. How about the 50-year mortgages he's proposing?
Let the motherfuckers do stupid shit. Who would do that? I wouldn't have. I have two mortgages. I would not put my ass in a 50. Golly, for what? Save $200? You got me fucked up.
$200 does mean something to some people.
Well, honey, not for my fat ass. It ain't gonna mean shit. Hell no. I'll keep my 30-year mortgage, please. Thank you, because I'm almost done paying off one. What the fuck?
Well, he suggested that there's also 40-year mortgages out there as well.
There ain't no 40. I only got 30. I only got offered 30. So I don't know where the fuck that 40 came from. And I sure hell would not do the 50.
Yeah, I can't condone the 50 either, but the man is also saying, and I talked to my last caller about this, currently we're in the best economy we've ever been in. What say you?
If this is the best economy, you're not feeding your people. You know what I mean? You're not, you're destroying the country. This is the best economy? Okay.
How is he destroying the country? And by the way, folks, smash that like button. Feel free to subscribe. Follow the program if you enjoy this type of open dialogue without censorship. We are indeed MAGA friendly. We don't block, ban, or censor anybody. The guy says it's the best economy we've ever had. A lot of folks do favor the Trump economy over the Biden economy, Gangsta Grandma.
You know, I'd rather have a Biden economy right now. Our food prices was high, but it's not as high as it is right now. We're not shooting, we're not pew-pewing, booming fucking people out of their swallows waters. We're not doing all this shit. We don't have, you know what, Sleepy Joe? We could go to bed not knowing we're not going to go to war. You understand me? Because Sleepy Joe, he had the shit going down. He had 9.1. And see, this is what these ignorant motherfucking, interbred fucking dumb fucks we fucking realize. When we had inflation, it was a worldwide inflation. Worldwide. We was the number one that came out of it.
Are you
now look, we got fucking back into the office. A dumb fuck that don't even know how to run a damn business. Now look, we're going back down. The dollar is at 87 cents. He dropped it down to 11 cents on the dollar. Our shit isn't even worth shit right now.
Well, wait a minute. Now, you do realize that Trump, on his own right, was a successful businessman. So you're making it, you're calling him dumb.
No. See, you're kissing ass. Get off your knees. Get off your knees, okay? Get the fuck off your knees. Get that fucking protein dick out your mouth. You know what I mean? It doesn't look good for you. I need to go get you some knee pads. Because no, he isn't. He's he bankrupted his company 6 fucking times. What kind of business is it? I got 3 businesses. I haven't even bankrupted not one.
He was a billionaire. Gangsta Grandma, he was a billionaire before he became president.
He got a billionaire, dumb fuck, by his daddy. Got a silver spoon. He didn't never work his damn life.
He got
It was handed to him. Handed to him.
The man started with $1 million loan from his dad and turned it into $1 billion.
With his daddy, Tim. His daddy gave him a loan. Do you want a fucking cookie?
I'm telling you, $1 million is only 1/1000th of $1 billion. So he literally took a loan from his dad.
He's not a good shit, nothing. He ain't good. He ain't good about his interbred motherfucking foul.
When he came down the Golden Escalator, he claimed to be worth $15 billion.
He ain't worth shit.
I'm just telling you what the man said.
All that he needs to go do is go and call Jesus and tell him to take his ass back home to the piss of fucking hell he belongs.
I'm just simply saying you're calling a man dumb. You don't get to his level.
Dumb.
You don't get to that level like that.
He is dumb, Tim. He's fucking dumb as shit. He won't even feed his own people, but give money to the other people, people around the world. I thought he's America first, Tim.
Well, when you say he's dumb and he don't feed his own people, at the end of the day, him holding out, he's won. The Democrats caved.
He's not. No. The Democrats did not cave. 8 of them did.
Well,
why do you think they're catching hell? Why do they think of catching hell? I know you on your knees. You like the white man. Dick in your mouth, but keep it at fucking 100. Keep it at fucking 100. It was only 8.
Paul Saul says.
They fucking bowed down because that's chicken shit.
Paul Salce says, "Ghetto Grandma, your Obama phone sounds messed up." Well, and he says,
"Go fuck yourself. This ain't Obama phone, bitch. Your mama had an Obama phone. She should have swallowed your nut because you was a waste of a fucking nut. She should have swallowed his kids, bitch. And what? Because you ain't going to say that shit to my fucking face."
Okay. So, do you just hate Trump, period? Is that all? Is that what this is?
I told you, dumbass. I've always told you I hated that damn motherfucking racist bitch. I hate Trump and I hate the fucking maggots. Do you know why? Because they put us in a fucked up situation. Now, his own maggots ain't even fucking eating. And you know who I feel bad for? Is the interbred fucking kids that they have. Because they didn't vote for this shit.
You're saying that MAGA are not eating. I'm not hearing MAGA complain like that.
Well, because you know what? Because they'd be embarrassed. They'd be embarrassed to come up and say, yeah, there's a lot of people that coming up and saying, yeah, I voted for him and that I can't even feed my kids. There are TikTok saying that.
You sure they're not liberals that are paid to say that?
Liberals are paid to say that?
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that.
Where the fuck's my check?
I'm hearing that a lot of times the liberals.
Where the fuck's my check?
I'm just telling you.
Where the hell's my check?
I don't know. Maybe go find George Soros. He might be able to give you a few bucks.
Where's my fucking check? I really want to know where the fuck my check is. Give me some check.
www.georgesoros.com.
Stamps too. Shit. I'm paying into the system. I didn't even get not 1 ounce of food stamps, and I wouldn't give a damn. He needs to feed the people. How disgusting of a human fucking being this man is. You won't feed your own people, but you're America first, right? No, it's his white tea pockets and his family's first.
How do you now? Here's a strong comment. I'm gonna let you go anywhere you want with this. John Landergan says, "Get a job and earn your own check, ho." So instead of depending on the government, get a job and earn your own money.
Bitch, I have 3 businesses I run. I make over $300,000 a year. Do you think I give a fuck? Do you think? So you get Joe fucking rally to his fucking no good for nothing trailer trash ass off of my pocket. Okay? I have two homes. One in New Mexico. And one in LA, California. That says a lot, bitch. So, no, I don't get welfare, but I fight for people that are busting their asses, you dumb fuck. Busting their asses, and they still need help. I ride with them. I would never kiss down to the white man like you motherfuckers do.
Does it have to always be race?
It is about race. It is. It's about race and class.
I don't disagree that class probably has something to do with it, but race too, huh?
Yep, sure do. It sure does.
Now, see, Big Cat says gangster grandma for president. Stephen, wait, hold on. Stephen Edwards said I would marry gangster grandma.
If I became president, I promise you, I promise you, you know the Republicans, how they fucking people over? They'll be the ones being fucked in the ass without lube. And I'll make sure they all get it. And I'll make sure the maggots get everything they did to us. Oh, karma be sweet.
What the hell has MAGA done to you? They just want to make the country better.
They want to make country white again. The racist piece of shit, the Smotsies, and the Christian nationalists. If they were such a fucking Christian, they would be feeding the fucking poor right now. They wouldn't be going against everything that we're supposed to be for. We pay our taxes. People should be fucking eating. Well, but they don't give a fuck about the next fucking person. All they want to do is line the pockets of the fucking billionaires. Oh, you know what? I was on live today. All they bitched about was the poor people getting fucking food. I didn't hear not one bitch about anybody about the billionaires getting welfare. And they get more taxes out of us than we pay into the system. Over $600 we pay to the billionaires. Only $36 a year pays for the fucking people to eat.
Well, maybe they don't believe those numbers.
Oh, but you know, they don't believe a lot of shit. They don't believe that they get you fucked in the absolute lube. They need to go get rammed a few fucking damn times, I guess.
Oh my God. How about this though then? You know, during the shutdown, there's been air traffic controllers that have not been paid for 3 pay periods. President Trump has stated that the ones who didn't call in sick or skip work, he wants to give them a $10,000 bonus. Is that not a good thing?
They better not, because there's a lot of people that they got let go. They should give anybody fucking money. They should get the poor people fucking money. Because guess what? They're doing without food. And I really do feel bad for them. I don't give a fuck. You know what? They got into a situation. But you know what? Nobody's going to get no damn $10,000 damn dollars. He don't run the fucking purse. Well, I'll be damned. I'll be fucking damned. And then he's always saying $2,000 for tariffs. You know why he's saying that? You know why he's saying that?
Okay.
Because guess what? He knows he's going to lose. in this Supreme Court about his tariffs.
I don't know. You feel confident the Supreme Court gonna rule against them?
Yep. The way they was asking questions, yep, they sure are. They're gonna rule against him. They are.
Well, but Trump stated that if Trump stated that if the Supreme Court rules against him on the tariffs, we could have to pay back trillions of dollars. Do you want that to happen?
Yeah, pay me back. I want my fucking money back.
What do you mean your
and
money?
Small business owners that are fucking getting screwed in the ass without lube.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. Well, I mean,
yeah, sure do.
I mean, it remains to be seen. George Zimmerman says, well, don't know more if you ask about Tammy's Florida trip. I don't know what you're saying there, George Zimmerman, but are you responsible for Trayvon Martin? I don't know, but so I guess, so you don't favor the 10K. You don't like the 50-year mortgage. You don't believe we're having the best economy.
Who would ever do a 50-year mortgage? Whoever owns a home is laughing at that shit. Who would do that?
Well, like I said, Trump has said a 50-year mortgage ain't that much worse than a 40-year mortgage.
And that's a good businessman?
$15 billion.
An average person that owns a home is in their 40s.
Yeah, okay. That is what I heard.
The young people cannot even buy a home right now. And that's how fucked up it is. It's out of this world. And he really thinks his economy is so good, he's running it to the ground.
He didn't just say it's good, he said it's the best ever.
Well, has he bought a pound of ground beef that is more... The pound of ground beef costs more than the federal minimum wage.
Pound of ground beef? The man is eating seafood. Did you not see the party he had at Mar-a-Lago the other day?
And you know how fucking disgusting that was? Having a party and telling people they could go eat cake while they're hungry. WIC is not even... They don't have WIC right now. Section 8.
You almost make it sound like... You almost make it sound like... You almost make it sound like Trump is being deliberately hard to poor people or something.
He don't like the poor people. You know what? His maggots, I hear him all day, every day. Oh, they should get off their ass and work. They do work. They just don't make enough. Put the minimum wage up. Get fair. You know what I mean? Make it livable wages. Oh, they don't want to do that. The red states are hurting the most. They don't even give a fuck if they even have insurance.
I don't know. You think the red states are hurting the most? I don't hear the red states complaining like that.
Tim, I be hearing it.
Okay.
It's just fucked up. People's Thanksgiving ain't gonna be a Thanksgiving because he don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and I see in the comments, Gross asks, what about all the people going to the food banks? They're not wearing their MAGA hats. I guess he's suggesting that a lot of MAGA are getting food at food banks.
They are. The federal employees are. The military is. Everybody is. Lines and lines at food banks. And we're supposed to be the richest country in the world. And you go give 40 billion away. And don't give a fuck if you feed your own people. Ain't that about bitch?
What about the notion, like Trump said that system is broken and it's rife with fraud?
You know what? I'd rather feed everybody and less than 1% is fraud. Less than 1%, and that's facts. That ain't no opinion, that's facts. Less than 1%. How about all the fraud that he's doing? Selling Bibles and watches and his nasty ass smelling cologne. All that shit. That's against the law. He shouldn't be doing that. All his billionaire friends doing fraud shit.
What about the claim that there's a ton of illegal immigrants getting welfare?
Well, you know what, Tim? Quit kissing his balls. I mean, it doesn't look good for you to kiss his balls.
They gotta never kiss. What?
Federal. That's federal. They can't get it. It's all up in the thing. They can't get it. Why do you think the immigrants are not complaining about it? Why do you think that is? Because they don't get it. They're not entitled. But they work and they put it into the system that they cannot get. They cannot get Social Security. They cannot get welfare. They cannot get TANF or whatever the hell this shit is. They cannot get food stamps. They cannot get the ACA benefits. They can't.
When you say 1% is fraud in the comments, someone said, Jerry said less than 1%, you're about 25% off, honey.
Time to go kiss my black ass. I'm not.
1%. You think it's that low? 1%?
It is. That's facts.
That seems low. I don't know. 1%. I
No,
mean,
it's not seems low, Timmy. I know you want your own white Jesus over there to come and say, yo, that's not no, but it's not. It's not low.
all right. Well, I guess we'll.
1%. I don't give a fuck how much it is.
Let me ask you this.
The billionaires are taking so much from us.
How are How are billionaires taking money away from you?
We pay over $600 a year for the billionaires. Over $600 of our taxes. And people really complain about feeding the hungry. $36 or $37 a year.
Well, they're not complaining about feeding the hungry. They're complaining about They're complaining about lazy people pretending to be hungry.
Oh my fucking God! They work. You know, when I was on food stamps.
No, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, when I was young, I was on food stamps. We was in the military. My husband had a job in the military. You have to have a job. You have to.
Okay.
And if you don't have a job, you have to volunteer like over 20 hours a week.
Didn't know
So
that.
there's always something you have to do. So I don't understand this shit.
A lot of people do not believe that these folks are in genuine need. They believe they're being fraudulent.
There's people. There is college kids on food stamps right now, going to law school and medical school. They're on food stamps. Okay, there are people with degrees on food stamps right now. My friend is on food stamps. Her husband works. Both combined, they make $80,000 a year. She can't work no more. She's on hospice. She can't work no more. Okay, I'm fixing to take my god kids. Take them before she passes. You know what I mean? She's not. They're on food stamps right now. They cut them completely the fuck off. They did.
Wow.
So yeah. So you know what I mean? Fuck me and quit telling me that people are fucking lazy. He goes out there, he works, but she can't work no more because she's literally done. Okay? I was just up there in Chicago. I helped her. I gave her money for food, and she asked me. She said, "When I get my food, I'll give it back." No, I don't need that. You know what I mean?
All right, I gotta move it on, but this is what the man is saying. So I give you the last word.
Fuck me with the bullshit about people don't work for food stamps. They do. They do. I'd rather have my tax money go to that than have my tax money go out of the country if you can't feed your own goddamn people.
Well said.
And fuck him. What is it called? The angel of death needs to come up and take his white ass. Every fucking day I pray. Did he open his eyes yet? Did he die yet? Yep. I promise you, Tim, it's gonna be like this, Tim. We will be dancing in the fucking street. If you thought CK, drip, drip, Lord, when he dies, hallelujah.
I gotta go. Gangsta Grandma, yikes. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 50. We should be close to 60. You guys are a lot of lazy thumbs in here. Chicago in a rich white hood, money well spent. What are you saying there, alter ego? What are you saying? God hears you, says Antoinette Harvey. Wouldn't God hear all of us? Isn't there a song called God is Watching Us? I mean, so would he not hear all of us? Can anyone send me $10 for gas until Friday? Please, says Alex Napper. Well, you want to? Hey, send me $10 until Friday. You can cash out $ the handsome liberal. How about that? I'm biting into your time, huh, Alexander. Send me $10 for what we're doing here. Let me look at the comments. Let me tell you something. Not to sound like Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color, but Lisa Lewis says, "Let me tell you something." Now, what's that? Let me show you something. Let me show you something is what Fire Marshal Bill used to say. Anyway, Lisa Lewis says, "Let me tell you something. All the time I tried to get a job and always fired because someone don't like my shoes or the director telling me to lower my standards. I got no problem working. Get gangster." What do you say there? I don't understand what you're saying at the end, but listen. Sorry to hear you got so many problems working. Lady was on point, says Willie Mays Hayes. Appreciate your input. This lady has something wrong with her spirit, sir. That's crazy. One person says the lady was on point. 2 comments later, someone says there's something wrong with her spirit. I need you guys to tap the screen, get the likes on up to at least 65,000. We'll take the next caller at that. Love to Cruise. Appreciate your support. Thank you very much for you guys that are helping your boy get the TikTok cap goal. Thank you very much. That money is for tax-paying Americans, not bailing out the 1%. Depends on who you talk to. Just a dog with the way the country is today. I'm surprised people even care this much about politicians after both parties have consistently proven not to care about us as a people. Well, they're going to care this much about politicians because they believe the politicians are causing some of the problems. Whether you're seeing immigrants all over your city and LGBTQ in bathrooms, or whether you're tired of hearing about white nationalists and using racist comments, people believe the politicians at the helm are responsible for a lot of things going on that they think are bad for the country. That's why they care about politicians. They believe that without the politicians, a lot of this shit wouldn't be happening. Even children with autism and cerebral palsy know how to be kind, says today. Who are you suggesting that don't know how to be kind? Let me know. Never believe a politician. Believe their actions. Well, Zarek, we were told that Trump is not a traditional politician, so you didn't have to worry about that. Take the next caller at 55. Tap the screen. By the way, we don't block, ban, or censor anyone. I always make it clear we are MAGA friendly. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. If you enjoy uncensored dialogue, you're in the right place. Follow the program if you're currently watching us live on Instagram, TikTok, or X. And if you're currently watching live on YouTube, give your boy a sub. And of course, tap that like button. Looking in the comments briefly, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. What are you so prejudiced that you got to write ninjas all over the place? Who was doing that? I don't like to block, ban, or censor anybody, but when people are spamming, you know what ends up happening. And I think anyone that sends a single letter on YouTube right now because of what we guys are trying to do, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do what I don't normally like to do, and that is spam you. I'll give you a moment to clear your senses. I'm trying not to block anyone, but if you're going to keep doing that, I'm going to have to, throw you out of the program. Anyway, looking in the comments, though, I think we're okay with that now. Trump is a joke, says Vinny. My cousin Vinny. But Julia R says, Trump. We're doing the Trump train. Well, the one letter thing is not helping anybody. Biden was a joke, says Mike. Well, Biden is gone, so it does not even matter about Biden is kind of irrelevant. In fact, with Trump bringing Biden up so much is making Trump look like he has an acute case of Biden derangement syndrome. There's no reason for Biden to still be coming up at every Trump speech. I mean, look, you think the guy did a terrible job running the country. We get it. But to keep talking about him, I mean, you cannot put a microphone in front of Trump's face without Biden's name coming up. That's derangement syndrome. If you ask MAGA to describe what derangement syndrome is, it's going to be what Trump is doing. Trump has Biden derangement syndrome. He literally is deranged over the guy. The guy's gone. You thought he was terrible. The people got rid of him. He's gone. Why do you got to keep bringing him up so much? Not a little bit, but so much. He's always talking about him. This is why I love Tim, says Zizek. Thank you very much. $100 for one can of baby food. Who's doing that? Are we at 55K? We'll go back to the box. And I don't know what I looked at there, but King Finn, one of my subscribers, will bring you up. Scapegoating because he can't be held accountable. Could be some of that. King Finn. That's a long intro. That's a long intro.
Stop worrying about it. You don't cry when that ignorant motherfucker get on TV and lie to you all the time. You sit here and converse with motherfuckers who know. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna say they know. Because that caller before Gangsta Grandma, before you started pumping gas and her trying to pump her up, that caller before didn't even know what the fuck he was saying. It was it was a little bit hilarious at the same time. It was a little bit mendacious because as soon as you caught him in the fact of he said some shit that he knew he shouldn't say it, just like Mike Johnson, he started winning his fucking comments and going back. And he started, I'm sick, and he started centering himself just like his president. However, I'm not here to talk about that tonight. I'm here to talk about the bullshit that stupid motherfucker said. Because it's ridiculous for him to say that the economy is better than it ever has been.
He did say it. Gangsta Grandma, thank you. He did say it. JPT Farms, thank you for the TikTok cap. I don't know why I think Gangsta Grandma, that was JPT Farms, but he did say the economy is the best it's ever been.
Bullshit. And you know it is. Unemployment rate up. Cost of gas up. The fucking cost of food up.
He said the cost of gas is down and damn near going to be $2 a gallon soon. Anthony Bellamy, thank you. He said it's going to be soon $2 a gallon.
You know that's a fucking lie. And I'll bring this up again. The president does not set gas prices. OPEC does. If you want to give him credit for it, I really could give fucked in a less, but we all know the truth. He does not set crude oil prices. OPEC does.
Okay, I get that, but let's be honest, King. If gas prices were $5 a gallon right now, you know damn well you'd be blaming Trump for it.
Yep, but I'd still have to buy gas, wouldn't I?
Yeah, but if you're gonna blame them for the gas prices going up, why not give them credit when they go down?
I'm gonna blame them for whatever the fuck I want to blame, just like these idiots I heard blaming the Democrats for this fucking shutdown.
So in other words, you're gonna blame Trump no matter what. You're just looking for reasons to criticize the guy.
I mean, unfortunately, to be honest with you, the buck is supposed to stop with the president. Why not blame him? Y'all give him credit whenever he do something right.
But that is what I'm saying is if the buck stops with the president when he's doing something right, you should give him credit for that too.
I should, but name something he's done right so far. And dude, let me stop you before you say anything, because we both know that bullshit you finna fluff with talking about the border.
That's fluffing.
Don't fucking do it. It don't fly with me, because then you got to go into the problem of what policy has he set to make sure that doesn't happen. The only thing he's done is pulled National Guard troops out of Texas where they're supposed to be fucking guarding the border. The only thing he's done is made ICE a private military Gestapo where they're supposed to be immigration and customs enforcement. I don't see people running in the middle of Chicago with masks on their face and no motherfucking identification, snatching up American citizens and fucking asylum seekers as ICE and customs enforcement. Or am I wrong?
I'm just going to say not only has Trump secured the border, I'm hearing that he's lowering crime in some of major American cities. He's also, D.C., according to Trump, D.C. is so safe, you can walk the streets at night.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm telling you what the president said.
Well, you know what? I guess it probably would be safe and clean since he got National Guard troops out there picking up trash. But I do want to tell you one thing. He still got booed at the Commanders game, and they still lost.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. That was pretty fucking bad. Is that disrespectful to do that, though?
I don't think so. That's their freedom of speech, is it not?
I didn't say it was a violation or a crime. I just said, is it disrespectful? This guy is swearing. Hold on. This guy is swearing in folks that have signed up to defend this country, new service personnel, and you can't even hear him doing it because they're booing him. Is that not disrespectful to not only Trump but the military?
First of all, let's go here. Why would you do that in a football game? Second of all, let's go here. He shouldn't be the person swearing in anybody because he doesn't have any military experience. How about we go get the Fort Bragg colonel that he dropped off and fucking fired? How about we get any of the commanders or colonels that he had in that room when him and Whiskey Pete gave that fucking speech? Because those people are actually people who are doing the job of the military and have done the job of the military. Not a four-time fucking bone spur draft dodger.
Would you have felt better maybe if Hegseth did it?
No. Why?
He served in the military.
He's a major in the National Guard. Big fucking deal.
He's done two tours. Hegseth done two tours.
What are you talking about? Go get a real motherfucking soldier. Somebody we can really fucking expect to be in the motherfucking fields doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. Instead of some fat ass who ain't doing shit and he ain't even doing his fucking job. His job is to make sure that Congress continues to work correctly. Not to be sitting out playing golf and having a fucking Great Gatsby party in a gold White House that he helped to fucking rob the people to make.
You're trying to wait. Are you indicating that Pete Hegseth was not a real soldier?
Dude, my shoestrings are more soldier than he is.
What? I mean, the guy served this country honorably. Why are you saying that?
There's plenty of reasons, but I'm just gonna stick with the fact that he agrees with Trump when Trump assaulted fucking John McCain.
Okay.
He agreed with that shit. And if you don't remember who John McCain is, maybe we should go back down that aisle. You can play his greatest fucking hits about how he actually did serve in the military, about how he actually was a prisoner of war, about how he actually did do this fucking country correctly. And at least he tried to do something correctly instead of voting and advocating to starve America's fucking children, to starve the people of his fucking country, fighting court cases to make sure people didn't get fucking food. And for all of you motherfuckers who are out there saying, well, yeah, they shouldn't get that food, it's a bunch of welfare queens, it's quite funny to me that the biggest percentage of people who use SNAP are white people. And then you blame it on black people instead of actually looking at the truth. The truth is black people have had to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps from the inception of this fucking country. We built every fucking thing. Look in your history. We built every fucking thing while you motherfuckers sat back and got lazy and told us to keep fucking working. Fuck you.
Wait. Are you suggesting somehow, some way that blacks are harder workers than whites? Is that what I'm hearing out of this?
Why did they bring us over on the slave ship, Tim? Because they wanted us to do what?
To work.
Their labor, right?
To work, yeah.
What happened after the Emancipation Proclamation?
Well, after they freed the blacks, they ended up with sharecropping.
And what was the 13th Amendment again? What was the clause or the loophole of the 13th Amendment again?
What do you mean, like getting them for loitering and putting them right back out there?
Mm-hmm. Making them as what? Again, slaves, correct?
Yeah. It was profitable.
Right, it was profitable. In the South, after the Emancipation Proclamation, used the 13th Amendment, the loophole in the 13th Amendment, to continue to make the South's fucking economy. So let's keep it real. Yes, black people have always worked twice as fucking hard as white people. You motherfuckers sit up and call us lazy. You have the gumption to let that shit roll out your motherfucking teeth, and then you elect possibly the most unqualified and dumbest motherfucker to be the leader of this country, and you say that we are lazy? Are you fucking serious?
Well, you're obviously, you've created the ire of Gen X. He says King Finn ain't about shit. He says you're a racist coward. You are bringing up race. I don't know about cowardice, but he's saying you're a racist coward for what you're saying. But Hanson Stumpyfinger says, tell me, Tim, I'll let you respond to it. I certainly will give you plenty of time. He says, Tim, let me tell you something. I'm waiting for the aliens to come and take us all to a better place. The Simpsons are right as always. Well, the Simpsons predicted Trump was going to perish, did they not? Now, if you want to address Gen X, he's suggesting that you're a racist coward and you're not about shit. King, your turn.
I'll go with this. Gen X, first of all, make sure that your oxygen tank is fucking changed. Second of all, the only coward is you. You Proud Boy supporting, non-eloquent fucking saying having, weak ass white man in a trailer park. Stay in your fucking chair. Stay in your double wide and continue to watch the world fucking burn. It's people like you that make me throw up in my mouth, because you continue to say that you are patriots, yet you are only you're only patriotic on the fucking weekends. Figure yourself out. Make sure that you have health care. I hope it's not Medicaid, because your orange leader is trying to make sure that you don't have it. Okay? Don't fuck with me. I'm not the one for it. I don't have to say anything to you because you have already been dismissed. You're no longer part of the kingdom because you sold your soul for an orange piece of shit, an orange shit stain, an orange piece of garbage that wouldn't look at you the fucking second he can smell you.
What are you suggesting, that Trump does not even care about MAGA? I mean, he hates Democrats. I get it. He said that, but MAGA?
He don't give a fuck about none of y'all. He don't care about you. What was he doing when he made sure that those SNAP benefits didn't go through? He was having another party at Mar-a-Lago. He doesn't care about you.
Why do you think? Let me ask it to you this way before I ask you this. And I do see handsome stubby figure says Trump ain't shit. He said that Trump is mixed between Joker and Harvey Two-Face. Trump is going to get shit handed to him real soon. What is your definition of shit handed to him? Why does MAGA not feel the same way you do, King Finn? If you're telling me, King, that MAGA is being fucked over by Trump, MAGA is still saying Trump is the best president we've ever had. Where the hell is the discord? They're not saying what you're saying.
The disconnect is in their denial. See, they know that they voted for a fuck up. They know they voted for an idiot. They know they voted for a bum. But what they don't want to do is tell themselves the simple truth. He is not doing anything to help them. Name something that he's doing to help them. Name a policy, an executive order, a movement that he's made to help them. He doesn't have any.
Oh,
what is he doing?
They feel
He has a lot of concepts of a plan. He has a concept of the $230 up to $300 million fucking upgrade to the White House. He has a concept of that filled with gold. He has a concept of a 50-year motherfucking mortgage plan that's only going to continuously fuck the people who actually want to take it. He has a concept of a health plan that he believes that there is alien technology is probably going to help fucking Gen X when he.
I got a few pushbacks. You say what is Trump doing to help MAGA? We can talk about the Lincoln Riley Act. That's something that they believe is helping them. We can talk about protecting the integrity of women's sports. That was done by law. That is Trump protecting them. I mean, are you not giving him credit for these things? I mean, he's done a few things. He's blowing up boats that are bringing deadly narcotics into this country off the coast of Venezuela. Is that not protecting folks?
Tim, I'm not about to let you gas me up because the thing would be, here's the problem I have with all of those statements. Number one, how many cases do you have of women playing or men playing in women's sports? Not that many, right?
I was told one is too many. One is too many.
Right, one is too many. Okay, great. We'll go with that, right? You said he blew up boats in Venezuela that were bringing
19 different craft, over 70 individuals have been permanently prevented from bringing dangerous narcotics into our great country.
Right, but that's bullshit because you don't know what was on that fucking boat, do you?
We know there's a bunch of dead drug dealers on there.
You don't even know if they were drug dealers.
That's what we're being told, King.
That's what you're being told, but you believe it, right?
I didn't say that.
I told you a whole bunch of shit, and if you believe it, that's okay. That's great for you. But where you and MAGA what y'all don't seem to get is the Democrats aren't telling you this shit. They're not in control of the White House, the Congress, and the fucking judicial branch. They're doing all of this. The Republicans and MAGA are doing all of this with the assumption that Trump knows better. They believe if they bet on Trump and MAGA, they ain't gonna lose, right? But what's gonna happen when the Supreme Court comes back through and says all of those terrorists were unconstitutional? Where's all that money gonna come? Wait a minute, because I'm still pushing back on your bullshit, and you know it. They can't find the money that was left as an emergency fund to feed the homeless people in this country or the starving people in this country. They fought against actually giving people SNAP benefits, and that ain't just Democratic people who get those SNAP benefits as kids, elderly, fucking military, the whole nine. They fought back against that. These are the people that you want to run the country. Are you fucking serious? Okay. And you believe something that he says about a couple of boats off the coast of Venezuela, a country we're not even supposed to be in, after he gave these motherfuckers $40 billion for a fake ass currency exchange when we already know from the 50s we didn't get no money back. But this is what you believe? Okay. You want to keep believing in a fucking fairy tale?
How about the notion that these poor folks would not have had their SNAP benefits interrupted if the Democrats were not playing politics and shutting the government down? This is what I'm being told. Also, in regards to the tariffs, you're talking about people are going to be hurting financially once his tariffs are deemed unconstitutional. Well, you've been saying the guy has not imposed any actual policies. What if he got Congress to pass a law? If the Supreme Court goes against him, the Democrats are going to be faced with all the money we got to pay back because of his tariffs too. Perhaps they will side with him once again with the rest of Congress. He only needs a few of them to get the tariffs to become law. So it's possible that even if the Supreme Court rules against him, he'll be able to find an actual policy in Congress to make it law, because the Democrats don't want to pay back all that money either.
You know what's really mind blowing to me? The what if-ism. The what if-ism of everybody. You say, what if the Democrats side with him? What if the terrorists don't get struck down as unconstitutional? What if he does this? Why isn't it ever he's going to?
Well,
You know that? Like, never he's going to implement a policy that actually helps to save people money. He's going to impose some tariffs that actually might work, because the economists that I listen to and I look at, they're not saying that.
so you're saying that if the Supreme Court rules that those tariffs are unconstitutional, and by the way, folks, tap the likes, take the next caller at 70 and get the likes on up. But you're saying that if the tariffs are ruled unconstitutional and we have to pay all this Liberation Day money back, you don't think the Democrats, because the Republicans would absolutely be willing to accept actual policy, because Trump did all those tariffs without any real policy. But if he gets Congress to suggest that these tariffs are okay, which I'm sure all the Republicans would back, he only needs a few Democrats to save us from having to pay trillions of dollars back. You don't think that could be done?
No, those policies are Are you fucking kidding? He taxed the island of penguins. Are we talking the same language? Are we speaking the same language? He taxed the island of penguins. He told Greenland that he would make them a fucking state. He doesn't know that he's the president of Puerto Rico. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you serious? This is the insane leadership that MAGA voted in an office.
And Hanson,
Are you kidding me?
Hanson Conservative says this.
What solid trade deal has he inked? Not in the sharp.
But that's what I'm telling you, King, is that if it comes down to having to pay people trillions of dollars back, you'll be amazed at what trade deal he could ink that people would probably agree with. And Hanson Conservative says this man is racist as can be. You got another detractor.
What Hanson Conservative thinks. He's just fucking stupid. If you think I'm racist, you fucking dumb. I can be prejudiced. I can even be biased. But what system am I making right now in this conversation to hold anything against a white person? So don't call me racist. Get your fucking facts straight. Look in the fucking dictionary. It's there. Webster defined it. Racism, racist. I'm neither. Get your fucking shit together, idiot. Right. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by some dumbass who thought it was a good idea to say something to what I'm speaking of. Again, what we are talking about is a man who has no actual policy, no actual movement, no actual anything. Y'all called him a businessman who has failed plenty of businesses. You thought it'd be a good idea to run this country as a business. As we can see now, it does not work that way. 10 months later, we are fucking far away from where the fuck we should be. We are up on national debt. We are down on GDP. There are flights that are not fucking being flown. There are air traffic controllers who have not been paid in months. There are thousands of federal workers, black, white, and fucking indigenous, who don't have a job right now because of this man. And you continue to fucking pander. I can tell you one thing. I don't kiss the ass of people who fuck shit up. I don't praise people who fix shit. They fucked up. Continue to pander to this idiot. You will see what else is left for you. This country is going to be in shambles by the time he finishes. You think he cares about you? He only cares about the crust 1%. He only gives a shit about money. That's all he cares about. You don't fucking have it. You don't make millions of dollars a day. Elon Musk just inked the deal to make sure he gets damn near $250 million every single fucking day. Do you think Trump gives a fuck about you or him? Because I can tell you now, Trump cares more about Elon, even though they ain't buddy and licking each other's ass like they used to. He made a $5 million gold fucking card for you to be able to come into this country the right way, quote unquote. Who you got $5 million? ICE is going to the Super Bowl to pick up fucking people, quote unquote, who are illegals. What illegal do you know got $4,000 for a Super Bowl ticket? How fucking stupid does that sound? That is done solely. That is trolling. That is done solely to troll. Yeah, no illegal immigrant is going to go to the fucking Super Bowl. That's insane. Even
I don't need other than just doing that to piss people off because you don't like Bad Bunny or the fact that it's a liberal event. I don't know why you would send ICE to the Super Bowl. I really don't. That's something that the world is watching. I mean, let's say, for instance, there were some illegals working there or in the stands or selling hot dogs or whatever. You really want to arrest people on worldwide television? Man, that shit look embarrassing. I mean, then you got the crowd booing the ICE and ICE is threatening to arrest America. I mean, that would be a disaster. I don't know why he would do that. I don't have any answer for that. I can't fluff that. It's fucking terrible.
I know why.
I do too. I just don't want to fucking say it. I do too. I just don't want to say it.
He does not think about the shit he says. And the more you fucking continue to pander and prop this orange idiot up, the worse off we look on the world stage. He went to fucking Indonesia, China, and all those people and fucking looked like a dumbass. The person he should have been trying to stand next to, he wasn't. He was out of fucking place. He didn't know what the fuck to do. When he should be talking, he's sleepy. In the middle of a meeting, he's dozed off so far, they could fucking shake his chair and his fat ass wouldn't have woke up. But he's doing so much, yes. He's doing so much.
He's only been in office. He's only been in office about 20% of his term. King, I gotta move it on, but only 20% of his term. How do you respond to folks who say, get a man a chance?
You know what? We could have gave a whole bunch of people a chance. We could have gave the American people a fucking chance. We could have gave democracy a chance, but a lot of motherfuckers are misogynistic and fucking racist and hateful. Guess what? You chose the misogynistic, you chose the misogyny, the racism, and the hatred to go into the office. Deal with that shit yourself.
King, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming through. All right, moving on with the program. Strong, passionate caller there. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. That's how it is. Whether you lean right or left, we don't believe in censoring free speech. So understand when you come up, this is an uncensored program. We go left to Bernie Sanders, so I'm having dinner with Q. Tap the screen, get us on up to 70,000. Elliot McCoy says, King says, Finn speaks well. Fair enough. Here we go. No OM, I don't know what that means, Arthur. Only 32% of his term. Does this mean my boss can fuck off? I get to sleep the first 2 years of my. Well, he hasn't been in 32%. I mean, Trump's only been in. 1 year is 25%. He hasn't even been in 1 year yet. So probably about 20% of his term he's only served. Because he still has, January, he got inaugurated in January. So as of January 20, whatever, he'll be a whole year. So he hasn't been in very long. But not in defense of folks that are criticizing Trump, in defense of Trump's detractors, Trump promised to do shit super quick. So the argument of give him a chance can fall on deaf ears because Trump said he was going to do shit overnight in 24 hours. I mean, look, if you promise to do things really fast and you don't do things really fast, you can't counter by saying you haven't given me a chance yet. You said this shit would be done by now. He did say that in many cases. He said that grocery prices will come down on day one. That's a quote. He said that he would end the Ukraine-Russian war in 24 hours. That's a quote. And he's also stated, which we played last night, that within 1 year, your energy prices will be cut in half. That is a quote. He's made big promises. So when folks are holding him accountable for those, well, you got to give him a chance. No, he's already had the time period he said he needed to do it. That's what he said. Such as now this 50-year mortgage thing. Obviously, if the 50-year mortgage that Trump is suggesting goes belly up, he'll be long dead before that. The point I'm making about that is, with a 50-year mortgage, there's going to come a time when there's a lot of foreclosures. It'll be well into the mortgage. As I pointed out, let's say you go out and purchase a home at the age of 35. That means you are supposed to pay on that home until you're 85. Obviously, a lot of us are not going to see 85 on the calendar. That's actually beyond the lifespan, the average lifespan of an American. And that's even a white female, which is the group that has the longest lifespan. White males, black females, black males. I think black males' lifespan is average like 69 fucking years or something like that. But 85 is beyond all of the categories. So if you purchase a home at 35 and you're not due to pay it, first of all, what would the bank think? Like, damn, you want us to approve a loan that's going to be beyond this dude's lifespan? So what ends up happening is if you pass away before paying the home off, there's a good chance that home's going to be foreclosed. Maybe your children want to finish off the note, but they probably have their own homes and maybe even their own 50-year mortgages to deal with. So, you take out a 50-year note, you pass away, you still got 10 years left on that note. Is your heir going to, because you still may not have a lot of equity in the place. Is your heir going to want to take that note? Probably not. So Trump will be long gone by then, but yeah, you could have a period in the future where there's a lot of foreclosures. Laughing my ass off, I can't afford a new house in this economy, says Lim. Well, that's the purpose of the 50-year mortgage, is that he's saying that if you get a 50-year mortgage and spread the payments out over a longer period of time, your payments could be reduced by hundreds of dollars. So you could afford them. You could then afford the home. You'll just be paying on it for the rest of your natural life. Epstein files are almost here. Not going to matter, Willie Mays Hayes. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it matters what's in the Epstein files. I think fact is both sides of the aisle, to some degree, both sides of the aisle are so committed to winning against the other side. They're not going to concede to anything. I think MAGA, who's really enjoying the liberal tears and all of this shit, they're not going to concede that Trump fucked up and possibly give the liberals a victory if the Epstein files. And thank you there, Mike. Appreciate that. If the Epstein files, and tap the screen, folks, get the likes on up to 70. If the Epstein files show that Trump is involved in some nefarious shit, MAGA's not going to hold them accountable and potentially give the liberals a victory. My guess is the people who put the information in the files, the girls who are making the allegations, maybe the FBI that did the investigation, they're all lying. It's a witch hunt against Trump. I think that MAGA would be more favorable to go with that avenue than believe what is in the files. Because otherwise, then you put the liberals in a much better position if you admit that Trump is actually a pedophile. Now, I don't think they want to do that. Going back to the box, it is indeed Mike. Good evening. How absolutely stupid do you have to be to fall for Trump's cons? Sometimes desperation plays a part in it. Mike, good evening.
Yeah, what's going on, Tim? What's going on, Tim?
Rough day, man. Rough day. Best economy we've ever had, though. What say you?
Negative. Yeah, bullshit negative. Now listen, bullshit negative. Bullshit negative. Listen, this 50-year mortgage thing, which isn't even allowed under the law. You do understand that, right?
It's Trump. The law. Sometimes the law can be,
Yeah.
The law small. It's Trump. Come on now.
See, listen to you. In 2008, you remember the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act?
I remember hearing about it. I don't know much more than that.
Yeah, it made it against the law to have a 40 or 50-year mortgage.
So 40-year mortgages are illegal as well, because Trump said there's not much difference between a 40-year mortgage and a 50-year mortgage.
Yeah, except for they don't allow it. Ever since the crash of 2009, I'm looking at it right now. So again, this stupid motherfucker, man. The problem is, who benefits from a 50-year mortgage?
The banks.
They make an incredible. Do you realize on a $300,000 home on a 50-year mortgage, the interest will be over $460,000?
Well,
on a home you paid $300,000 for.
If you even allowed to pay it.
Exactly. But you know what will happen? All the rich will just go buy the homes, do the 50-year mortgage, and then put you in it. You're still going to be paying a high rent when the mortgage on there is low.
It's almost like a modern day version of indentured servitude, because you would indeed be owing them for the rest of your natural life, probably.
Yes. And so then the the companies come in and buy these homes, put them on 50-year mortgages, and they're going to have a $1,200 mortgage payment, but they'll rent it for $2,500. That's what's going to happen.
Listen, I don't think most Americans will favor, even if they were able to make it legal. I don't think most Americans would even favor getting. You're not saving enough money. If you could give somebody a 50-year mortgage, and okay, I know I'm not going to be around in 50 years, but you said my mortgage is only going to be $150 a month. If you did something like that, yeah. But only saving a couple $100, no. I don't think you're going to find a lot of people that are even going to do it, even if he was able to make it legal.
Well, and you're right, but it also on your credit when you're trying to leverage and go buy something else.
Yeah,
they're going to say you got a 50-year mortgage. I don't know if I'm going to be lending you money. You got a 50-year mortgage.
So,
right?
Because I got a 50-year mortgage, you're telling me you're not going to give me this 15-year loan on this Toyota?
Damn right.
Well, I mean, what are we heading to?
Well, that's exactly what we're heading to. What do you think dealerships are going to do? They're going to extend.
Yeah.
They're what you can get 7 years now on a car.
Yeah.
They'll be like, just make it 15. Don't worry about it.
Your loan might outlive the life of the car. Somebody be like, you still got 2 years on this gremlin? Really? Shit, where the gremlin at? Well, it's in the junkyard.
Yeah, you damn right. But I still got 4 years of payments on it. I mean, people aren't paying attention, but that happens now. And then are you going to get insurance companies to even insure it?
Yeah.
Because the home value to the debt, when you talk about an insurance policy, may not even be worth them insuring it. Because a lot of insurance companies don't even insure for the entire value of your home now any damn way.
Well,
so listen, he's just talking in circles.
So why would he suggest if this 50-year mortgage thing is as awful as you and I both realize it is? Why would he suggest it?
Because it would go out of line with his big beautiful bill. Because that shit was horrible too. Listen, there is no. If Trump was planting a garden, he would have nothing but weeds and convince these motherfuckers they're roses. And they'd buy them in bushels.
It sounds like you're trying to suggest that MAGA's a bit naive.
Just a bit. And the man behind you on the screen behind you and the people that are working for him are the most disingenuous, evil motherfuckers you could ever imagine since the Mustache Man.
Whoa, you're telling me you see Trump as one of the most disingenuous and evil individuals since Adolf?
Yes.
Adolf is responsible for 6 million deaths, Mike. What the hell has Trump done to be in the same conversation?
You let him keep fucking around. Well, these health benefits being cut. Tim, are we not understanding that people without health benefits, let me say this. People that can't afford their health benefits, therefore don't carry health coverage. By this time next year, we will have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people unalive.
I don't disagree.
That's not even up for debate.
Well, I don't no, but that's not necessarily, hold on. That's not necessarily true, because if for some reason they cut healthcare, you're still entitled to stabilization care at the ER though, not right?
Yeah, if you can get there. But let me ask you this. If you're like, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Gen X needs oxygen. Right? So you're already laughing, but I'm being dead ass serious. The man needs oxygen. If his premiums go up to his health coverage is so expensive, he can't afford his health care that provides him that oxygen. What is he gonna do, Tim? What are you gonna do?
You're telling me one of my viewers might suffocate to death while watching me or some shit?
I'm clearly stating the obvious. If his medical coverage don't cover that, you remember Harlem Nights when he was going?
Oh no, not in the vault.
Yeah, that's gonna be Gen X.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord! I just saw it. I saw that the other day. Take short breaths. So we're here to make a deposit, actually.
Yeah. Now, to white people don't know what we're talking about.
No, not at all. That's funny though. That is really funny.
But as it's a joke, in all seriousness, because I don't wish that on anybody, unless they still support it, then you get what comes with it. But if you don't have coverage and you can't pay for these things and you can't pay for your medicine to keep your blood pressure down and your blood pressure goes up or your diabetes, what's the inevitable, Tim?
Yeah,
That's all I'm
I get
saying.
what you're saying, and I understand the disastrous picture, but if it got that bad, I don't think Trump would just, if everybody lost their health care insurance, I don't think Trump would just sit there and let millions of Americans be uninsured. You really think he's that evil?
He Trump, tell me how many people were unalived on COVID because of him?
A lot.
I know, bro. I
lot.
know. And a lot were, right? Because of him. Because of his blatant lies about how bad it was. So, and he sat there and allowed it to happen. So why are we so would you be surprised if he let that happen again? We're having another outbreak. We're having another outbreak of the bird flu right now as we speak. And do you know why?
Yeah, but when COVID happened, I don't disagree that I do believe, just like you do, that Trump mismanaged the pandemic, but it was something new. It was a novel virus, and people had different. If you're talking about getting rid of people's health care, that you know the outcome of that. That's not like the pandemic where we don't know what this really is. People telling you to wash your groceries and shit. People didn't really know. Dr. Fauci is telling you try this tomorrow, try that. Getting rid of health care, you know what's going to happen. I don't see Trump handling Americans losing their health care the same way the pandemic he handled.
Yeah, and you didn't expect us to be here either. I did. You did. You need to get it together, Tim. You need to quit giving this man credit that he hasn't earned. He hasn't even earned what you just said. He hasn't earned for you to give him the benefit of the doubt. I just gave you COVID. I just gave you COVID. I can give you the Venezuelan boats. I can give you how he's handling deportations, and I can give you what he's handling right now with SNAP benefits and everything, that he's in the Supreme Court again, really not to give people their benefits. Now, you tell me what I'm missing.
Wait. They're about to open up the government, looks like. You said he's still trying not to give them SNAP?
Yes, the government extended it today. The Supreme Court extended it again today. If he was so hell-bent on people getting benefits in their SNAP, this wouldn't be happening. So I gave you all of those examples. So give me one to debunk my claim. Just one.
Well, I think that he wants to use the SNAP, and this is totally wrong, and I guess as you're talking about, it almost seems evil to do, but he's using the SNAP as leverage to get the Democrats to come to the table. So until the government is 100% officially open, he's going to continue holding off on SNAP because he believes that is what is bringing them to the table. That's probably why he's extended it, because he's saying, look, yeah, it looks like we're on the path to opening up the government again, but it ain't happened yet. So until it happens, keep this SNAP card in our back pocket. I don't favor him using poor people in regards to treating them like they're his whole card or his ace in the hole. But that's what he's doing. He's using the SNAP because he knows the Democrats are going to cave and be sympathetic on that.
But again, and when I asked you, you didn't even answer. You sound like a MAGA answered me. You didn't answer shit I asked you.
No, okay, ask me again. I thought that was an answer. What did I miss?
Goddamn answer.
I thought that was an answer.
I gave you all the examples of him harming Americans. I asked you, give me one example where he has directly helped Americans.
Well, if what he is saying is true, by blowing up boats off the coast of Venezuela, he's saving millions of lives.
Have you seen it? Have you seen any evidence? Matter of fact, let's go back here. You haven't seen any evidence that they've had any narcotics, but we have 2 people that were arrested and sent back.
Yeah. Well, we've seen evidence. We've seen evidence of how deadly fentanyl is. If they're carrying fentanyl and he's actually executing them at sea, he is preventing a very deadly narcotic from entering entering our country.
Have you seen that to be true, is what I'm asking.
I can't prove it, but you asked me what has he done for the people. I'm simply saying that I can't prove what he's saying is not true either.
Okay, perfect. But I can prove everything that I said is 100% factual, and it's harming people, and he continues to harm people.
Okay, how about the notion that I always bring up the border? He's getting rid of people that are unknowns. They claim that they're releasing prisons and insane asylums. He's getting rid of people that have no legal right to be in this country. We don't want another Lincoln Riley. That right there is making some folks safer. How about that?
Have you seen it? Again, I'm just going back to listen. Have you seen the results? Have you seen a stat that says those crimes in this country are lower because of what he's doing?
No, but if you're getting rid of unknown individuals,
Tim?
hey, hold on. If you're getting rid of people that have not been vetted, you don't know who the hell they are. I'm going to go with the statistics. The statistical probability is you are getting rid of at least a few bad hombres.
Okay, so I can give you names of women, black women, that have been unalived this year since Trump has been in office by illegal immigrants this year.
You can give me black women that have been killed, but their lives have been taken by illegal immigrants
This year.
Okay.
Have you heard one of them? Have
No.
you heard him mention any of them?
No, but you should be happy then that Trump is getting rid of them, so eventually some of them will be either brought to justice or kicked out of the country.
But where are they going to go, Tim? Where are these people? Where is Lincoln Riley's unaliver at right now, Tim? Is he
Prison.
deported or is he in a U.S. prison?
He's going to be in prison and then
So he's
deported.
still here and then deported, but he's got life without parole, Tim. Where's he going?
He's going to prison.
Yeah, I know, but he's never leaving the U.S.
Well, I don't think that's how he wanted to stay here, though.
But my point is this: that's not what he sold. See, they're deporting people like Kilmar who didn't do what this guy did, and with no proof, no due process.
Well, wait a minute. They're deporting people to prevent folks from being like Kilmar or like the Lincoln Riley's killer. If you get rid of them now, you don't have to have some kind of major felony take place in a year or two and find out this person had no right to be here, like Lincoln Riley's killer did.
But where's the evidence that they're arresting and detaining those people?
They're arresting and detaining everyone, so some of them are those people.
How do you know? So this is why I'm saying it, Tim. You trust him and his administration to be on the up and up?
I'm just simply saying the statistical probability of a bunch of unknown people coming in the country is that some of them are going to be bad hombres. That's how you know.
And so the rest of them that you can't prove that they are just get swept up in the process.
Well,
is that what you're conceding to me?
Well, the argument is you should have thought about that before coming into the country illegally. You might get swept up.
That's not the argument. The argument is what I read to you yesterday from J.D. Vance's Forward.
Which is?
In order to cultivate the garden, you're going to have to hit it with a chemical solution. And in the process of unaliving the weeds, you're going to unalive some attractive things as well.
Well, to some degree, and I don't like that foreword at all from J.D. Vance, but to some degree, when it comes to addressing the illegal immigration problem, that's probably true. If you get somebody in there that wants to make sure only people that are in this country are people that have a legal right to be here, it's probably going to require you arresting, detaining, and deporting some people that many Americans like. I mean,
I thought one life was too many, Tim. So what you're saying is disrupt. So where's the line? What's the number that's okay with you? I'm seeking this one person that might commit this crime, and in the process of seeking that person, which we don't know because we don't have them identified, we're going to sweep up 10, 20. What's the number?
You really dragging a hell of a conversation on me because Willie Mays Hayes. Oh no, Willie Mays Hayes in the comments and said, "Tim, you hate America." You really?
Where's the line?
God damn. Okay.
I know what you're doing, but I'm asking you, where's the line? How many people were you willing to sacrifice to go after that one that might do something in the future?
If you're getting people out of the country that have no legal right to be here, there is no line. There are going to be a lot of Americans that are like, they all should go. The fact that you're here illegally, you've already committed a crime.
Again, define illegal, define who you're going after, give me a name. Don't just put 224 people on a plane to CCOT and tell me they were all bad.
I didn't say they got to go to CCOT. They just got to get out of the country.
But they don't give a fuck where they go. That's my point, Tim.
And I disagree with that. I disagree with a lot of this, but I'm just simply saying if you're going to go by the law, there are procedures for how you can legally be on U.S. soil and remain here. Those who did not follow those procedures are here in violation of the law.
I'm not disagreeing with the law, but I'm also saying apply the law the way it was intended to go apprehend and get those actors. I got my air quotes up, those actors out of the country. But that's not what they're doing. That is not their purpose. You and I both know that, and so trying to figure out.
Wait. Are they not deporting people that do not have a legal right to be here? Are they doing that?
We don't know. If you take their word for it, whose word are you taking for it right now?
Even if you tune in to MSNBC, they're not exactly showing you a bunch of Americans that got deported.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when they sent that plane over to CCOT,
okay,
with Kilmore and the other 224 on it, they specifically don't want and have not shown who those people are.
Yeah, that is true.
So if those people are convicted, and the people they say they are, wouldn't they show us?
Listen, I get your argument, and I agree with you that the Trump administration is not being very transparent on some of these awful things they're doing. However, I do believe that if they were deporting Americans or people that should not be deported, some of these folks would have been heard from. I mean, because they're not sending them all to CCOT. I mean, some going to Africa. Somebody would have been able to call back to their family and get to a news, story that, I mean, it might not be all of them. I get that, because I believe there are people in CCOT that don't belong in CCOT, but it's not because they are Americans. I believe that there are people in CCOT that are not violent felons. They just happen to be here and they don't have the legal right to be here. That don't mean you should be sent to a maximum security prison that's better than Ghislaine Maxwell. So that part I agree with. But at the same time, I do not see any type of evidence to suggest that Trump is deporting a lot of Americans.
Okay, so let me say this. First of all, I don't give a fuck if they're Americans or not. There's a couple of things. If you can't show me that they are illegal, because if they were illegal and they committed some crimes, you would have documentation to show me. Yes or no?
Yeah. And as SGB72 in the comments says the perfect, he has the perfect point. He says, you're forgetting due process. If they gave those folks due process, we would have these answers.
Right. But here's not only did they obfuscate due process, they tried to trump up charges for Kilmore or Borrega Garcia from the beginning to the end. How do you trust them? How can you give them the benefit of the doubt?
I don't trust them. Hold on. I don't trust the Trump administration on their deportation policies. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. What I'm saying is the left, who is adamantly against what Trump is doing, have not shown us a single American that got deported. And they're looking for him. They absolutely want to disgrace the Trump administration. They have not been able to they haven't been able to put at least not even one on TV.
No, that's not true.
You've seen Americans get deported?
Hold on, Tim. Yep. First of all, let me be clear. I've seen 170 be detained.
Deported.
Be detained.
Deported.
And deported is not detained, but there have been a couple of U.S. citizens deported and they were brought back. But let me find it, because I know what you're talking about. And again, if it's a mistake because you're following the law and somehow something was missed, I get it. But that's not what's happening. That's why when the plane left for CCOT and they knew it was about to leave, they lied to the judge.
Yeah, I'm not denying that the Trump administration wants to deport these people so badly they don't even care if they may violate somebody's rights. I'm not arguing with that. I'm just simply saying I don't see where they have deported Americans, and a lot of people on the left are saying that they're deporting actual Americans. I mean, you would hear about these people. I'm not hearing them.
Okay, so I got one right here. Where's her name? Right here. Matter of fact, the 4-year-old boy that was a U.S. citizen. He was a U.S. citizen.
Didn't he leave with his mom though? His mom was getting deported, and she chose to take her legal American citizen son with her. And he.
That's the fucking what?
Wait a minute though. Okay, so if I get deported and I want to take my kid with me, they supposed to say, no, we're going to keep your kid because your kid's an American? The parent took their kid with them.
Tim, what I'm saying, I'm arguing the opposite. What option did they give them?
There is no option. If you're here illegally, you got to go. Either you're going to be separated from your kid or your kid can go with you.
Here's the problem that I have with this conversation, okay, is we're taking this term illegal, and we're putting it in this box, and they demonized the term.
Yeah.
Because Trump made a lot of people, quote unquote,
True.
illegal.
It should be either undocumented or you're in the country in violation of the law, should be the best way to put it.
But it is a misdemeanor at best. It's like a jaywalking ticket, number one. Number two, we're talking about people that were going to court. People have been detained, going to court, doing the thing they're supposed to be doing. Going to court and they get arrested because they're going to court. He suspended asylum hearings. He's doing all the things to make them illegal. What else if you're here seeking asylum and you've done all the things and then Trump goes, nope. And now where do you go from there?
I can't really listen. As much as I would want to criticize, I can only blame Trump so much because Trump made it clear that Biden was letting too many people in under this asylum. They weren't actually legitimate asylum seekers, and he was just leaving the border open. He made it clear if I get elected, he made it clear if I get elected, these people are not going to stay. And America voted him in knowing that ahead of time.
Because they're demons and they lied. Listen, Tim. Trump said that. He has never been able to prove that. There is no stat to prove what Trump sold his supporters.
You just proved it by saying they're in court deporting people that are doing a lot of folks they're deporting they're yanking out of court are those asylum seekers trying to prove asylum. Trump already made it clear that asylum stuff is going to be off limits. I mean,
but we don't know when they started their asylum process, Tim. You don't know when they started their asylum process. You know how long the process takes. That doesn't mean that they came in under Biden. What are we talking about? Because here's the flaw in Trump's argument. He's been saying there's been a border crisis. Well, was there a border crisis when he was in office?
No. Border was under control.
There only became a border crisis when, understand that the border was closed with Title 42 up until when? 2022?
Oh, you mean
2023?
Wait, you said the border, say that again?
The border was closed due to Title 42.
Okay.
Which was the health emergency of 2022?
You're not talking about COVID? You're talking about the pandemic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was 2022.
Did that drop? Right? That dropped under the Biden administration, okay?
He went to court to try to keep it in, and the Supreme Court said he couldn't because the health crisis was over. When immigration started to begin after that, the same law that had been in place during Trump's administration and Obama's and Clinton's and Bush's was the same policy.
But here's the difference, though. Here's the difference on how Trump. Here's the difference on how Trump would have protected the border differently than Biden. Okay, the Supreme Court said he can't block the asylum seekers. So what the Trump administration would have done is created a bunch of places like Alligator Alcatraz. And so, okay, they said we got to let you in here. We're going to let you in because the Supreme Court says this, but we're going to hold you on this island until we can do the full process to determine whether or not your asylum claim should be legitimized, as opposed to letting them fly all over the country and not show up to many of their court dates. That's the difference. I'll give you the last one. I do got to move it on.
But what you said is not true. You think people were just missing their fucking court dates, Tim? Have you seen the data?
I've seen
people weren't just missing. You know, over 70 some odd percent, maybe I think it was 80% of all asylum seekers were turned away at the border because their claims were ruled unjust and they got turned away, Tim. 80%.
Are all the ones okay? So if Biden had a stage, you think all of the ones that were here were going to actually be victorious on their court dates?
That's the reason you go to court. It's not my job to figure out how their court asylum case is going to end. That's the whole point.
All right. Well,
that's the entire point. Well, but here's the thing, Tim. We're having a logical conversation. The Trump administration and their motives aren't logical. That's the difference. They're not doing this.
They were taking They were taking black jobs. They were raping and murdering people. They had to go. That's what Trump says. I gotta go.
Hold on.
Real quick. I want to be clear on something, and I brought it up earlier. You brought up the Lincoln Riley case. Mm-hmm. The Lincoln Riley case was they got exactly what they wanted out of it, because if you go do researches on the numbers, you had far more people in this country
Black women, Hispanic women as well, being unalived by illegal. But you never hear him talk about that. It wasn't about safety. It wasn't about protecting anybody. It never has been. It's getting people that look like me and you out this bitch and out the way. Period.
All right, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate it. By the way, folks, tap the screen. I do agree with that last part. Tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 85,000. Joe deported more than Trump. I don't really. Joe Biden deported more than Trump. Are we comparing Joe Biden's full term to Trump 1 year? I don't think that's going to be legit by the time Trump is done. I think by the time Trump is done, he's going to be way. I mean, the man wants 3,000 deportees a day, so he's going to pass up Biden. Gangs in Chicago have a shoot-on-sight order against ICE right now, says Cody Locks Productions. He says that there was already an incident in Chicago with ICE being fired on now. I heard about someone taking a shot at ICE, but I'm going to tell you, being born and raised in Chicago, there's a whole lot of gangs in Chicago, a whole lot of criminal activity. If gangs in Chicago had a shoot-on-sight order against ICE, it would be a lot more than just one quote-unquote shooting, and they didn't even hit anybody. ICE is all over the damn place. If they were really adhering to some kind of shoot-on-sight order, it would actually be people getting hit. There was, I think they said that somebody took a shot at ICE, and this was like one incident. There should be dozens, if not hundreds of those incidents. They're all over the area. There's dozens of them, hundreds of them all over the place. There would be plenty of them to hit. So I don't believe that if some gang said this, I don't believe it's being taken seriously by gangs in Chicago, because it ain't hard to find a target if that's the case. Dencal, appreciate the TikTok. 8 USC, it is not a misdemeanor. It is a federal crime punishable by law, says Cody Lux. He's disagreeing that being here in an undocumented fashion is a misdemeanor. I heard it was a misdemeanor too, though, Cody. But regardless if it's a misdemeanor or a felony, it's deportable. You can be deported. If you're here and you don't have a legal right to be here, you can be deported. George Zimmerman says you got a PDF in chat named Vinny looking for kids. Really? Okay, well, that Vinny, if I see Vinny will have to vacate the premises. I don't see anybody in the comments named Vinny, or maybe I do. But yeah, the thing is, shout out to Vinny, you're gone now. That order happened over the weekend, so it's a fairly new order. Tim Poole reported on it. His is a native Chicagoan too. Well, let me see it culminate. I don't want to see any member of ICE get wounded, but I guess I'd have to see it happen, because you can always find one idiot. Like, for instance, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon was all of a sudden stated to mean that all BLM wanted cops to be shot. I don't think there's any BLM on record striking a cop. So, I mean, look, I don't know if this order, this alleged order from gangs in Chicago came from anybody with any power, or it was just some idiot on the street talking about hide your wife, hide your kids. So I don't know. I mean, I know there are folks that support ICE, support Trump, that want to make it look like that. So I don't know. I'd have to see it. I just have to see it. Yeah, Willie Mays, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. That was some BLM members walking down the street in Minnesota that didn't like cops. And there was only a handful of them saying it. And you had Fox News indicating that the entire outfit of Black Lives Matter wanted cops done that way. Going back to the box, Dencal, good evening. Welcome to the program. See, freedom of speech isn't a human right. Vinny lost his in chat. Human rights are, well, what are you suggesting, George? That you should have freedom of speech to suggest violating children? Is that the hill you're trying to die on? Dencal, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, so 50-year mortgage. What say you?
That's the dumbest shit ever.
Trump is
people.
Go ahead.
People would end up paying like 3 times the value of their home by the time they finish paying for it. That's a horrible idea. Trump, I don't know if he knows it's a horrible idea, but all of the people, they was even on Fox News questioning him or telling him that's a horrible idea. Hey, what's the brother that be on Fox?
You talking about Charles Payne?
Yeah. He's a Trump sycophant. Even he was like, that's a horrible idea.
I'm smelling a rhino. You'll probably be criticizing Trump. You're gonna be a rhino. But listen, let me just say, like, now Trump is a real estate mogul. He made a ton of money in real estate. Would he not know what a decent loan is?
Well, you got to understand what his position would be in this whole thing. He lends his name to companies that build, homes and stuff, and they basically lease them out. It would be beautiful for the business that he's in to get into a business where people month after month would be just paying you money and never gaining equity into the homes that they own. Wow. He would have a windfall if that happened for him. People don't understand the connections when he says some shit. He even suggested the 15-year car loan. Like, that is a horrible idea.
How about this, though? NC in the comments is pushing back. He types in capital letters. Oh, my God. You can refinance. Have you never owned a home? Now, he's responding to what you're saying that,
Right, but what he's not acknowledging is every time you refinance, there's a cost involved.
Yeah.
You don't just refinance at the cost of the home. You have to pay closing costs. You have to pay mortgage insurance.
I would also add the fact that if you got a 50-year mortgage, it's gonna be a long time before you can refinance. You might be deep in your senior citizen years before you got enough equity. You can refinance so you can leave it to your kid at a lower rate, maybe. I don't know, but it's gonna be a long time before you refinance on a 50-year mortgage.
Right. I mean, that's like saying you can refinance now. But even if you refinance now, you have to understand where your equity lies and where the advantage in refinancing. If I wanted to refinance my home right now, I could do it. But if I don't plan to live here for the next 5 to 10 years, I'm losing money.
Well, MAGA Reacts in the comments says you don't pay closing costs on refinancing. I'm not aware of that. He says you don't pay.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Everybody pays closing costs when you refinance or finance anything.
Yeah, I thought it was.
You got to pay the filing fee. You got to pay all of this shit. Now it may be like I don't have to pay it because I'm a veteran. Yeah, and I got the GI Bill. But he got to fucking pay it. And if he don't think he's paying it, he doesn't understand the mortgage or the liens he's taking in his name.
Yeah, and I see somebody else in the comments says you pay closing costs on any loan. Cody says, can't chat too much tonight due to lack of it, but I'm not 100% on board with this. To make it work, I'd have something P-force interest rates low and interest early payoff penalties. Okay, you're not on board with the 50% mortgage. I don't think, something, I think this might be the one time, Cal, that even the majority of MAGA is looking at Trump like this some bullshit. I think most MAGA are openly admitting this 50-year mortgage thing is a bad idea.
Right, because he floats shit to kind of see if he gets a groundswell behind it. If he does, he continues to push it. If he doesn't, he lets it fall by the wayside. Just the same way he's doing today, or he did today, when he just started on this Truth Social talking about he wanted to change goddamn Veterans Day to Victory Day, the same like Russia does.
I mean, he went from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Victory Day? I mean,
he wants to change it to Victory Day for World War II, because that's how Russia and Europe celebrates the end of the war. He says we had more to do with ending the war than anybody, so we should be celebrating it just like them. He's the same person that says we need to keep Confederate statues and we need to keep these same people in our face every day because we can't take away history. Now he talking about changing a damn federal fucking holiday that we've been celebrating for fucking
A long
since
time.
the 70s.
Well, you know something. In addition to him, and I haven't heard about him changing Veterans Day. That's crazy. But I also believe when you say changing holidays, I actually feel out of 3 more years of Trump, Juneteenth is not going to survive his term. I don't think Juneteenth is going to survive his term.
Well, I mean, I don't know because just the same way with this Victory Day shit, he can't do it himself. It has to go through Congress. And he's saying, what did he say? I am hereby renaming May 8th as Victory Day for World War II and November 11th as Victory Day for World War I. I hereby, when we go out there and march on No King's Day, and people are like, what are you talking about? Any motherfucker that's running the country that says I hereby thinks he's a fucking king.
I wish I could argue with that. But this is the reason why I mentioned Juneteenth, because I'm not just, fear my. I don't know if you heard it. I think we may have covered.
Yes, I heard.
But for other, I just want to read this briefly for those who did not hear this. This is what Trump posted on his Truth Social message on the Juneteenth holiday. He stated, too many non-working holidays in America. It is costing our country billions of dollars to keep all these businesses closed. The workers don't want it either. Soon we'll end up having a holiday for every once working day of the year. It must change if we're going to make America great again. So he didn't even say Happy Juneteenth. This is what he posted on the day of Juneteenth about us having too many holidays and the workers don't want it and it's got to change. So 3 more years, 3 more different Juneteenths are going to happen throughout his term. And this is how he acted on the first one. I don't believe that, you're right. He can't say I hereby, but I think he's going to try to do whatever he can behind the scenes to make that holiday go away.
Yeah, but then he would have to go through Congress. And although he has control of all of them people, look, he would be well reserved to sit his fucking ass down on this military. Stop fucking with the military and telling them what they should celebrate and how they should celebrate it when you're not even a fucking veteran. Don't keep doing that.
That's a good point. Well,
don't keep telling us who's a hero, who's not a hero. And he said a whole lot more. I'm not going to recite all of the bullshit. Anybody who wants to go and look at what he said about Veterans Day is more than happy to go look at it. But as a fucking veteran, I find it despicable that anybody who never served a day and who evaded the military service for 4 years, talking about bone spurs and, all of this shit, I don't want to hear what you got to say when I done already heard you talk about veterans and POWs, and I don't like people who get caught and, suckers and losers. Like, I don't want to hear none of that shit from him.
Yeah, he said the John McCain, my heroes don't get captured. He talked about the Normandy folks being suckers and losers. Yeah, he said a bunch of anti-military. Now, he's denied it all in his defense. He has denied it all, but
okay, do I believe him or do I believe a bunch of 4- and 5-star generals who were around him and who heard him and aides who were there when he said that shit in France, but he didn't want to travel to the cemetery because it was raining? Like, I can believe that kind of shit. Like, people in the military, or them people don't just make up shit like that. Not when you spent 30 and 40 years of your life serving the country. You done served through 4 or 5 different presidents. It doesn't matter who you serve under.
Well, when he's constantly talking about shithole cities and we like him because he shoots straight from the hip, he don't pull punches. I mean, all the other stuff he said, and you don't think he might say this too? Yeah, chances are he did say it. I mean, he said enough.
Yeah, for sure.
He said enough.
He said this shit. I 100% believe he said this shit. And anybody thinking he did not say it or thinking that he really gives a shit about the military doesn't understand the psyche of somebody like Trump. He doesn't give a shit about nobody, really.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is he said enough. He said
He
it.
tore his whole.
Go ahead.
He tore his whole wife's damn east wing down. To my she had a little bitty office.
Did you hear the answer he gave when she asked him how was Melania going to feel about that? He basically said, "I don't give a fuck how she feels. She gonna get with the pro." He said she's very smart and she'll like it in a couple of days. I mean, he just basically said,
right. Just took away her whole fucking office and everything.
Yeah, he basically said, you know, something. I think that's also how he decided to run. I don't think like many of the other guys you hear him, you know, and they look, I talked it over with Michelle or I talked it over with Laura and Bush, you know, and we decided we can run or whatever. I don't think Trump even talked it over with Melania. She just found out probably on the internet like everybody else, he's running again. I don't think he even talks like she can either roll.
She doesn't even like every first lady has a platform that they stand on. She don't even do nothing now. She lives in New York with her son, being close to her son, going to NYU or wherever he goes.
Did she
she's not even around.
It's interesting you would say she doesn't do nothing because Fox News just gave her a Patriot Award or something like that. She just got an award like last week. Real quick, Cody Locks Production says he can do that with executive orders, which can be reversed by any incoming president. Keep crying caller. So he's saying that he can indeed, by executive order, get rid of holidays. He's saying keep crying. He can do it.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Those things, executive orders, if somebody pushes back, have to go through the court system. No, you can't. He can't just do it. I understand what they're saying. You could do executive orders and all of that stuff, but that doesn't mean every fucking thing goes away because he says, I hereby. That's not how it fucking works.
Well, but what he could do is ruin. I mean, if he decides as of this year we're going to end Juneteenth, so on Juneteenth you got to come to work. It's not a federal holiday. While he's fighting, and of course, if there's a Juneteenth that happens, he can make it so that at least that one ain't gonna be celebrated. You might beat him you may get a ruling in your favor that comes down the pipe in July or whatever, but this or in August, but this Juneteenth, you gonna miss it because of what's going on. He says the suckers and losers thing is unconfirmed. We and generals around, he said he never said that. It was from one general who didn't like him. So he's saying that there were military personnel, top brass, that said Trump never said the sucker and loser thing. He said it was just one.
Listen, I don't know who that person is, and I don't know their experience. Just saying that anything somebody says that's in contrary to what Trump says because they don't like him is false. Is not how the fucking world revolves. A lot of people don't like Trump. A lot of people don't like Biden. A lot of people don't like Obama. But they don't just make up shit about them, about random shit out of clear blue just because they don't like them. That's not what they do. Even all of the Republicans and
but you know the crazy thing is Trump does that. Trump actually do make up random shit about people you don't like.
Right, but instead of them understanding that, they're gonna say we don't trust the people who done put 40 and 50 years of their life on the line, who've been through combat, who've been through commanding whole theaters in the world, who've been through Democratic and Republican presidents. It's not about the president.
No.
Remember when he was saying Mad Dog Mattis, that's our guy.
Yes,
we love him.
Yep.
And he's the Mad Dog for a reason. Then as soon as Mad Dog told him, no, we're not gonna shoot, we're not gonna shoot people coming across the border. We're not gonna put, troops in the streets and stuff. We can't do that. It's against the law. Now, he doesn't like Trump, so he's just gonna make up shit about him. No.
Well, but you got to keep in mind that has been the method of operation for MAGA from day one. That if you don't agree with Trump, it's because you don't like him. Because they've said that about Democrat appointed judges. I mean, even some of their own.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody who says something against them. Oh, they don't like him, so therefore we can't listen to everybody, anybody.
Even if you're Republican,
even his damn wife. oh well, you know, she doesn't like him because he cheated on her a bunch of times. Like everybody,
anytime
anything against him.
that's why I opened up by telling you Charles Payne of Fox News is about to soon become a rhino. Because if you speak out against him, I don't care if you're a long-term ally of him. When you start saying you criticize him for anything, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she stated herself she's receiving death threats from MAGA. She said that, and.
Right. And Jonathan Vilma on the damn Monday Night Football and shit. Hey, Mr. President, you know, how do you feel the country is doing right now? Man, if you don't shut your ass up, man. The country's doing great. Everything is doing great. Well, I got 17 trillion coming in, and everything is doing good, except for what Biden did. Everything is bad what Biden did, but everything I'm doing is good, and he just bobbing his head like a bobblehead sitting on your dashboard.
Well, the thing about it is, remember the Colin Kaepernick days of how we didn't want politics in sports? I wonder, why is he on here allowed to give a spiel and attack an adversary, as you're talking about, when this guy took a knee during the anthem and everybody said, and not only took the length of that song, this dude is on here actually giving political statements on how he's running the country and how bad his adversary did. And nobody's saying, I don't want politics in sports.
Ask him that. Vilma introduced him. He opened the floor for him, talking about how do you feel the country's doing. He didn't have to ask him. It could have been straight football, and I wouldn't have had no problem with it. But of course, Trump is gonna make everything political, and once you give him an opening, the floodgates is open now. Yeah. Everything is beautiful in the country. Interest rates are low, gas prices are low, food's coming down. Everything's great.
Well, that's how you. But then, Cal, that's how you get on Trump's good side. If you're an announcer, because that's a softball question. It's not tough at all. It allows him to speak. How's the country going, sir? And then you let him talk and all that. After you guys are off the air, I just wanted to make sure you got a chance to you shake hands with him, and who knows, it might turn into some kind of investment deal for you.
Man, hey, I'm from Detroit. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, but I'm pissed off at motherfucking Amon St. Brown doing that motherfucking Trump dance in the end zone. That was some bullshit. I'm almost happy that they got punched in the face after that.
You don't hate him that much now, do you?
I don't hate him like that, but I'm saying all of the damage he's doing to the. Listen, I've told you one time, if I told you 1,000 times, what he's doing is not harming me personally. I'm in the stock market. I'm in crypto. I'm doing great. I'm doing lovely.
You should like him.
If people elevate from them circumstances from bad to good, and then they just turn around and say fuck the people that were behind them, then what would this fucking country be? The people that have nothing need to have a voice. Somebody needs to be saying, yeah, these people that are on SNAP, they need their SNAP.
Yeah. Well,
and then we can talk about why people in certain groups are impoverished and everything. But the problem I have is we never get to the point where we ask about those counties in Appalachia and all of the hills in West Virginia and all of these poor ass damn counties down south who ain't got nothing and they ain't even got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. We never talk about that. They talk about the Democrat cities and all of this and that. We never say, well, then why in the hell these states have been controlled by Republicans for decades? They got the worst education. They got the worst unemployment. All of the goddamn people is on damn government assistance. They don't even have fucking health care.
Because they're going to keep talking. Yeah, they're going to just keep talking about crime. I say the same thing. I agree with you 100%. By the way, I do got to move it on. You see what's on the monitor behind me, though? Is that what you're suggesting?
Man, stop it. That's still my guy, though. You know what I'm saying?
All right, dude, Cal. That's your boy.
And I'm waiting to see his podcast because I'm gonna chime in on it when he do have it.
Well, this could have ended up. Maybe next time he scores a touchdown, they'll even play.
Well, I bet you he'll change his mind after he done got punched in his neck.
I gotta go. Dinkel, thank you as always. All right, moving on with the program. Cody Luck says, if one general says something, if something in regards to the player, and all others say something else, it's kind of obvious someone is lying. Well, Cody, you're saying if one general says that Trump used the shitholes or what? No, wait, what did he say? What did he say there? Suckers and losers. You're saying if one general says that Trump referred to the military as suckers and losers, but all of the others say something else, it's kind of obvious that the one saying they're suckers and losers is lying. Now, I want you to keep that mentality. If you're going to say that if one person is saying something and everybody else is saying something different, that means that one individual is lying. I want you to apply that to the 2020 election. I want you to understand, I want you to see your own logic. Because one person is saying he won the 2020 election, and virtually everybody else in Washington is saying just the opposite. So just want you to use your logic, but be consistent with it, because there's nobody on Trump's first administration that claims he won that 2020 election. So based on your logic, Trump must be lying. That's your logic. Looking in the comments, Trump's economy is like two guys riding a moped in a blizzard. Damn, that's beyond not moving and stagnant. That's pretty much stuck. So dishonest, and it's typical. I don't know what that means. I'm a warrior for Trump. Wow. All right, fair enough. You can't reason someone out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. All right, looking in the comments, though, real quick before we continue on. What does I say? I've never gotten a stimulus check. I hand out SNAP food stamps, food housing. I grew up, figured it out. I'm not a cattle being led to the slaughterhouse. I own my own business. America was created. I don't know what are you getting at there, sir. It takes time to get better, and it will. Hopefully. It does take time. Do you go to Mar-a-Lago? No, somebody said they are a warrior for Trump, and somebody else basically responded by saying, does he allow you in Mar-a-Lago? No, I don't think a whole lot of everyday average working MAGA are being allowed in Mar-a-Lago. At least I don't think that. Let me continue on. No, tap the screen, get us on up to 95,000. We'll take the next caller there. Continuing on with the program, though. Yes, that's why I don't bother what the devil has hold of already. If God didn't want it, he handed, I don't know what you mean there. What he said, that's not entirely true. The ones that agreed with Trump's were prosecuted and forced to change their stance. Now, I don't think anybody that participated on January 6th has changed their stance. They think Trump. Now, I don't know of any member of Trump's administration during his first term that were stating Trump won the election. At the time, there was no prosecution. When Trump started saying he won the 2020 election immediately after the election was over, he still was going to be president for 2 additional months. So there was no concern about being prosecuted. By the way, simply saying Trump won the election is not a prosecutable offense. So if Scaramucci or Omarosa or Attorney General Barr thought Trump won the election, just simply saying that is not going to get you prosecuted. I don't recall anyone, Mike Pence, none of them stating that Trump, in fact, they all openly state he lost. They all openly state he lost. I don't know of any Republican governor that claims Trump won in 2020. So I'm just using your logic. If one person is saying something and everybody else is saying something opposite, that means that one person must be lying. I don't know of anybody. His own vice president says he lost. I don't know if it, and that is probably under Trump the next most beneficiary person there is. I know I'm not wording that right, but the person that stood to gain the most benefit if Trump got reelected next to Trump would have been Mike Pence. He would have got 4 more years as the VP. It would have strengthened his chances of becoming the next president after Trump. I mean, because he's lost a lot now that he's fallen out with Trump. His political career is trash. I'm sure he's lost a ton of money. He's basically a man without a party at this point. So Mike Pence stood to gain a lot if Trump had won. So he would have been saying it. So I'm just simply saying Trump said he won. Everybody else said otherwise. The unemployment did tick up a bit. However, it was not anything to do with Trump. Amazon laid off 30,000 people because AI can do the jobs now. Brian, I'm going to say what I say on every program. What happens under your watch if you're president gets blamed on you. If Amazon decided to hire 30,000 people, Trump would take credit for those 30,000 jobs. So if Amazon lays off 30,000 people, that's 30,000 jobs lost under President Trump. It's either you don't get to take credit for the good shit and create excuses for the bad. Because if 30,000 people, if Amazon laid off 30,000 people under Biden, Trump would be the first person attributing those job losses to Biden. He would be doing it. That's 30,000 jobs. If I was president, that would not have happened under me. That's what Trump would be saying. So just like we're going to suggest that Trump is not responsible for Amazon laying off jobs, Biden's not responsible for Russia deciding to attack the Ukraine. We're blaming them for it, though. I mean, you don't get to say what if it happens under your watch, you're going to get held accountable for it. That doesn't change because your guy, the guy you favor, is in office. We blame Biden for a lot of things that he has no control over. He don't have control over Hamas going into Israel. We blamed him for it. Trump says no war started under me. These are wars that Biden had no control over. So if Amazon lays off 30,000 people, and by the way, Trump and Bezos are on good terms. So there's no way in hell that if that happened under Biden, Trump wouldn't be blaming Biden for those layoffs. Looking in the comments real quick, I wasn't a fan of Mike Pence even before he betrayed Trump. I don't think Mike Pence betrayed Trump, Cody. I don't listen. Trump, when you say Mike Pence betrayed Trump, you're talking about because he didn't take Trump's request to not certify Biden. It's been almost 5 years coming this January. Have you seen anything to suggest that Pence should have done that? Has the Trump administration presented any evidence to suggest that he won? He says it, no. So Mike Pence did state that he intended to do what Trump asked, but he talked to his lawyers and they told him, if you do what Trump is telling you to do, you're going to be dealing with court cases for the rest of your life. His own attorneys told him this is not legal what this man is asking you to do. So you can't blame him for not doing it. He didn't jump off the deep end. And I'm going to submit to you that there is a chance that the likes of Hegseth and what is the guy name? His borders are Tom Homan. I do believe some of them folks are probably going to end up dealing with charges in the future. I don't know how much Trump can pardon, but I'm sure he's going to try to pardon as much as he can. But if any of them folks have committed state crimes like ICE, if they're in areas, ramming cars and shit like that, committing state crimes that Trump cannot pardon them for. My guess is a lot of people are going to listen. If the guy's giving you something, giving you an order that you don't feel is confident that is legal, you should resign or try to refuse to do it as much as you legally can. You got members of the military resigning. The guy, one of the main players down there in the Venezuela in that theater decided I'd rather resign than keep blowing up these boats. If you know that this person is telling you to do some shit that may get you in trouble and you're not 100% sure he's going to bail you out of it, you don't do it. Certainly if it involves killing people. So I don't know. Wow, I've never heard of MAGA because I'm not MAGA. It says, while I've never heard a MAGA supporter say things like this. Okay. There's been a lot of evidence that Sheen turned down. Who are you saying Sheen? You said there's been a lot of evidence. Turned down is not credible. Also, exacting has been done a ton by Democrats. So, okay, the writing of this is not, I can't quite get what you're trying to say. early 2000s, you're allowed to challenge it. Trump didn't. You know, there's a crazy thing because I think it was Pam Bondi. They just pardoned some more folks in regards to the 2020 election, and they stated that it was wrong to prosecute folks for simply challenging the election. I think they pardoned Giuliani and some of these folks. What Trump did in 2020 was not challenging the election. He said he won. He was trying to take the election. He was trying to become president. He was not trying to have an investigation or make sure the election was held fairly. He was trying to become president. So I do believe that using the phrase challenge the election, which is what you're using, Cody, I don't believe that's accurate. I don't believe he was challenging the election. I believe he was trying to take it. And I'll tell you why I say that. Trump stated right before the election was held that there was widespread fraud in the state of North Carolina. Said the Biden administration was cheating. There was widespread fraud in that state. Biden was leading right up to the election. Trump ultimately won North Carolina. Once Trump won North Carolina and got their electoral college votes, he never said anything else about the widespread fraud that he alleged that was happening there. This is why I'm saying he's not challenging the election. If you're challenging the election, you don't admit it that one of the states you won had widespread fraud. Now that you've won, you're not mentioning that state at all anymore. Why is that? You may have won that state by fraud. If you truly are in favor of challenging the election, that should be part of just whether it's 2,000 mules, which I watched a half dozen times, or any of the other allegations you're making. North Carolina should be in the conversation. He came across as, I'm challenging places I lost. If I won, I don't give a damn if there's fraud there or not. I'm going to take the win. Then that's not doing it properly. You're not challenging to find fraud. You just want to win. If I win, I don't care what happened there. I'm only challenging places I lost. When you are on record stating that a place you won had widespread fraud. So to me, the phrase challenging the election does not hold weight. So did the Democrats when, okay, she said, so did the Democrats when Biden Jr. won, they claimed they won and challenged the elections and claimed Bush stole it. I haven't heard any of this. You're saying the Democrats when Biden's Jr. won, they claim they won and challenged the elections and claimed Bush stole it. Trump did the same. I think what Trump did, look, people claim things in elections and oftentimes say there's shit. What Trump did is significantly greater than what Hillary Clinton claimed the Russians helped Trump. She didn't act like Trump did after the election, though. She actually conceded. She showed up when he was inaugurated. I mean, she actually made claims. Trump followed through on all of that stuff. Comparing anyone at the national level that claimed that Al Gore said Bush won. You can't compare any of them to Trump. Trump took it way further than anybody else who has ever claimed the national election was stolen from him. He took it way further than that. So I hear you trying to say other people said stuff, but he did not just say stuff. He did stuff. He actually did things up to and including telling the VP not to even certify the election. Nobody else tried to do anything like that. Look up how Al Gore challenged Bush Jr.'s election. You'll be surprised. Yeah, but Al Gore challenged it in the courts. Once the courts ruled against Al Gore, he didn't say the courts have Republican judges, that they're just cheating on me. He didn't do all of that. Trump challenged stuff, and Trump does that anytime. Anytime Trump loses in court, he didn't question the credibility of the judge. Al Gore didn't do any of that. Like I said, people have challenged elections, but you can't compare anyone that has challenged it to the level of Trump. Trump went way beyond that. He started insulting people, insulting the credibility of judges and things like that. So, no, I think it goes way beyond that. Not to mention, Trump brought up a lot of stuff like dead people and all this other stuff that he didn't even present in court. I remember Dana Perino on the 5 saying that, he's challenging this, but what he is telling us is not what he's telling in court, because in court, you are under a penalty of perjury. You can't just go to court and make up bullshit. Your lawyers can lose their right to practice if they go to court with stuff they know is bullshit. So you can tell the American people anything, But when he went to court, he wasn't saying that kind of stuff, which is why a lot of people think to this day, well, the courts didn't listen to him. No, he didn't present that stuff because he didn't have any evidence of it. Let me go back to the box. Inciting the insurrection was literally treasonous, says Jack. Well, some do agree, some don't. Going back to the box, we'll go straight to Fur the Great. Good evening, Fur. Welcome to the program. Best economy we've ever had, says Trump. What say you?
Nah, that don't make sense, but it kind of tracks because he does a lot of shit and says a lot of shit that don't make sense. So
What, okay, okay, maybe not the best, but what about a good economy, an improving economy?
How does the economy get better when it's losing jobs? I mean, I ain't the smartest fucking guy, but that matters.
Well, but how about losing jobs, but he is getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse? Those are the, obviously the Amazon thing may come in there, but the federal jobs he claims are waste, fraud, and abuse.
Okay, I mean, waste, fraud, where's the gains from losing them? Can you point them out?
Maybe it'll be realized. Not yet. I'm trying, goddammit. Hang on a second. And Cody, hey, look, I'm trying. Cody says Trump tried to challenge it in court too, and the courts wouldn't even look at the case. So it's questionable when the courts refuse to even hear a case when you do. Well, like I said, when Trump claimed there was widespread fraud in North Carolina, and now you're not even in court questioning, to me, your credibility is shot. A lot of the judges probably didn't view him as a credible presenter. I mean, like, if you truly are challenging the courts, like, for instance, they sued Pennsylvania for their election changes because of COVID. Montana made the same changes, but because Trump won Montana, they didn't sue Montana. He did a lot of things that were suspect. Cody, have a good night. I appreciate it. So, not even improving at all for the Great, huh?
Nah, man. Like I said, this math don't make sense at all. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're losing jobs. The fucking dollar is worth 87 cents. I mean,
well, speaking of math, what about the math of a 50-year mortgage? Half a century, pay the house off?
Half a fucking century. Okay, so let me get this. We don't want to feed people. We cutting Medicaid. We cutting insurance. And you want to sell me a 50-year mortgage. While I can eat McDonald's and all this fucking bullshit we eat.
Is he doing anything right? Come on, Fur, you're painting a depressing picture. Is he doing anything right, man?
Well, like you said, you tout the border. You give out your bullet points every day. They don't change. I want you to know that.
Shit, I don't have any other ones to come up with. I gotta keep it.
I know you don't.
All I got is this 6-shooter, so I'm gonna keep firing this damn thing. I ain't got nothing else.
Hey, speaking of movies, you that guy in the Harlem Nights, just pow, pow. Put that shit away.
You guys are wild. I do remember that scene too, Arsenio Hall. You put that shit away. But I mean, I do give him credit. He did do a lot to address the border crisis. I do give him credit for that. The Lincoln Riley bill, he gets credit for that. He's protected the integrity of women's sports. He gets credit for it. He's done a few things.
Well, I mean, everything you named, I mean, I'm just one fucking person out of 365, millionaire. That shit didn't. I told you before, I never gave a fuck about the border and the immigrants and this and that. I just find it funny when people call them illegal. What's his name? Freeway Ricky Ross wasn't illegal until he got fucking caught. So I don't understand how we know somebody walking down the streets illegal without any kind of fucking due process or even seeing them commit the fucking crime. You know what I mean? That's like saying, hey, I'm looking for a black man between 5'10" and 6'6".
That's a lot of black men. You just know,
exactly.
You just know you want somebody. I'll tell you one thing though. One thing he actually should get credit for that unfortunately he does not because of how he dealt it out. But Operation Warp Speed globally is responsible for saving millions of lives. That came from Trump. Trump should be able to take credit for saving millions of lives via Operation Warp Speed. Another thing that Trump has done that is colossal, that is also saving a ton of lives that a lot of folks on the left are not going to agree with, but by putting in the Supreme Court judges that ultimately banned Roe v. Wade, at least in red states, there's a whole lot of babies that are being born that otherwise would have been terminated. So once again, there's a lot of lives being saved. These are things that Trump has done.
Yeah, maybe, Tim, but you know, my argument to the, you know, the whole AB thing is that worse than an unalive kid, in my opinion, is one that's not loved. I mean, what the fuck is that? You know, you brought me here to live this fucking miserable life with a lady that didn't fucking want me, and she treated me accordingly.
Yeah. Well, but then again, I don't know. You're going to tell me you'd rather be terminated than unloved?
Yeah, you know, luckily I haven't been in that position, but you know what I mean? I know some people that didn't have, you know, love and shit growing up, and it doesn't turn out good for them. A lot of them don't.
Well, you could also end up living with Mr. Drummond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or you could be in those X-Files, or you could be one of those kids in them Epstein files. Who knows?
Damn, yeah, that's a different setup there. Yeah, I mean, also too, there's something else he did. The Space Force, that's a whole new branch of the military that came by way of Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, the military's a fucking slush fund, so hey, you could call it ski force, whatever the fuck else you want to put in there. And they're gonna throw money at it till it ain't. So I mean, it is what it is.
What if he creates this iron dome similar to Israel? It's going to cost an insane amount of money, but I mean that too would make the country significantly safer to incoming missiles and things like that. That's also on Trump's creation list.
You know what, man? For us to be Americans and shit kicking and all this freedom and pew pews in every fucking closet. We some paranoid sons of bitches, boy, I tell you. We would pour all that fucking money into our military, and now we need a fucking dome on top of every fucking thing else we get.
You know something, and I think
our military ain't shit. Our military ain't shit if we need a fucking dome.
Well, no, I mean, technology has increased to the point where they can, I mean, some of these intercontinental ballistic missiles, some of this shit travels faster than AR rounds. That's when those things hit those Mach 10 and all of these hypersonic speeds. It doesn't matter how advanced our military. You need new technology to stop that. Intercontinental ballistic missiles fire really quick.
I don't disagree, Tim. But if we spending 30 times more than any fucking body else next to us, and me and you were talking about shit that we know, I'm assuming it's some shit we don't know that can handle all that.
Yeah, we wasted money. Listen, I don't disagree with you. I always say America is like the biggest linebacker in high school, walking down the halls, always getting in fights, talking about people fucking with him. Like, you the biggest dude, the most powerful dude in the school. Ain't nobody fucking with you, because America is always claiming that somebody else is messing with us, so we got to go to war. I mean, the Iraqis are doing it. We don't went to Vietnam. We don't went to Korea. I mean, we went to Afghanistan. Somebody's always messing with this big-ass country. Meanwhile, countries that are significantly smaller and have a weaker military, ain't nobody fucking with them. And Americans keep believing that. Americans keep buying it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, with all the pews and all this shit that we got here, you mean to tell me Jose and, his tattered clothes and fucking hand-me-down Joe One shirt is a threat to me?
People believe it. I mean, we're always looking at scapegoating has made at least the elites a ton of money.
True. I won't argue with you there. But you said something at the beginning of your show that you really hadn't touched back on, but I've been saying this, and I don't get up here a lot, but I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this since, the alleged documents he took that was supposed to be, top secret plans. I said if he got reelected, who the fuck would trust us with any kind of information? Yeah. So now you're saying the UK is saying that hey, we out of this shit.
In fact,
so if that doesn't tell y'all that these are probably not people just dealing any kind of weight or anything harmful, the UK is like, nah, we don't want no part of this shit.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, because they got the British Virgin Islands. They got assets in the region, and they're providing us the intelligence. You're right. If they're saying that we think the people you're killing are a violation of UN rules, and they're the ones that's giving us the intelligence, that's an indication that they don't done the intelligence on the boats we're blowing up, and their intelligence tells them it's not what America is telling people they are. But real quick, before we continue on, just so folks can hear this, it's a few seconds.
Now coming into the Situation Room, watch this. The United Kingdom is suspending, listen to this, suspending some of its particular suspension, but it's
okay, I don't fuck that up.
The Situation Room, watch this. The United Kingdom is suspending, listen to this, suspending some of its intelligence sharing with the U.S. because of the Trump administration's strikes against alleged drug boats in the Caribbean.
We are joined now by senior White House reporter Kevin Liptak and CNN national security correspondent Natasha Bertrand. Natasha, to you first with this exclusive reporting. I mean, this is a big deal. The UK is arguably the closest ally to the United States when it comes to intelligence sharing. What else do we know?
Yeah, Pam, it's a really significant rupture here. Essentially, what we're learning is that the UK is no longer sharing intelligence with the US about these suspected drug trafficking vessels in the Caribbean because it does not want to be complicit in the US military's strikes on these drug vessels and believes fundamentally that the US military's use of force against these vessels violates international law, according to...
That's like our number one ally on the planet, other than maybe Australia, I guess, too, but that's significant.
Another one bites the dust, son. I'll tell you, this administration is going to make us so great. We losing all our fucking allies. It's going to be fun in this world when it's just us.
You know something? Remember when Obama became president, they said he was on an apology tour? He was going around the world apologizing to the Islamic world and stuff like that. That is, in my opinion, that's what's probably going to follow Trump. It's somebody that's going to get in there and they're going to go around the planet and they're going to talk to people that we used to be on better terms with, you know, threatening to take over Greenland. Obviously, our relationship with Canada has gotten significantly worse. They don't even come here no fucking more. I assume the same is going to be with Mexico. I mean, we don't told a bunch of our allies, we don't even need you. You need us. We don't need you. So that's my guess is what's going to happen is that whoever follows Trump is probably going to go and speak to a variety of countries. Also, there's going to be a ton of money paid out. Federal workers getting fired for performance that have never had performance reviews. You got the South Koreans that were detained and deported by ICE. They were actually here legally and treated pretty fucking badly. Also subjected to racial treatment. They claim that the people in the facilities were stretching their eyes to look Asian and calling them Kim Jong-un. I mean, they were treating them like shit when they had those South Koreans from that Hyundai plant detained. So there's going to be a lot of lawsuits against our government because people's rights have been violated. So my guess is the next commander-in-chief is going to be on an apology tour.
Yeah, and sadly to say that this guy that kind of threw so much of a wrench. And I mean, I hate to say it that he's that guy, but he is that special to fuck it up that bad. Because I think what people also going to see is that what the fuck is their agreement? I mean, what the fuck is their agreement with the United States at this point? Whatever you got a fucking guy that changes.
Yeah, that right there, you know, that's something that will certainly, even though it is, in my opinion, mainly because of Trump, but it will absolutely outlive him, is that yet the United States is no longer credible. I said that on many shows after Trump got out of the Iran deal and NAFTA and Paris Accord. And all, why would you get into a deal with the United States knowing that whoever the next president is just may come along and say the deal is stupid and I'm no longer going to honor it? I mean, Trump pretty much made America's word look like a piece of shit. So America's going to have to do something. I don't know if it's put a few $1 billion in a bank or something like that and say, if we don't meet our words, this money is yours. You're going to have to convince countries that you can trust us. Because, yeah, what he did to Obama's deal like that, listen, even if Obama's deal was stupid with Iran, even if you believe that, that's America's word that was put out there. And he just violated it.
And he violates his own fucking deals. You know, these people looking at us like, motherfucker, I was sitting across from you when we made this fucking deal. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a bad deal now. You made the fucking deal, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this the shit where we at, man. And, you know, just like the UK. I think we get shit filtered in because that's the shit he wants us to know. He seems to control the media. Yeah. The media you know, MAGA React say it's the media's fault. It is. Because they don't hold his fucking feet to the fire for shit.
Well, shit, I understand. I mean, you hold his feet to the fire. He may shut down your whole damn network.
I get it, Tim.
Yeah.
But who the fuck is delivering the media for us?
Right now, the best media for us is exactly what you and I are doing. It's the citizens right now doing it.
Exactly. But if we're not getting shit outside of, you know, and I ain't even talking about outside of our regular channels, if we're not getting shit from around the world able to come in, which I think is going to be next, especially after this shit the UK just said it heard, you know, tomorrow he's going to say it's fake fucking news.
Yeah.
If he's not already out there today saying it. So like I said, you know, I always ask these people, so, you know, I live in the Midwest, so if they tell me it's going to fucking snow, I don't just poo-poo that shit and put on fucking jump shoes and, you know what I mean, and a halter top and go the fuck outside.
I get
it. So no news is good news. And, you know, before I get out of here, man, I was hanging on last night because I kind of disagree with a lot of the people on the left narrative about the Dems cave. Okay.
What do you think? Do you think they should have stood their ground and let this shit go on? Because Trump was not going to cave. Trump believes that caving is a sign of weakness. Obviously, Trump don't give a damn if SNAP is ever restored. So you could have went probably the rest of Trump's term with SNAP being suspended. I don't think he would have gave a damn, and neither would MAGA.
But I think I think Trump aim is more cruelty and maybe even emotion. You know what I mean? Because he wants to own the libs. Okay, so be it. So what I say is that those people, those 8 senators or whatever, I think they're the closest one is 2028. They're not up for re-election, you know, until.
You think that's going to hurt them?
Shit like that. It may, but what I don't think it's going to hurt them, because I think what it does is what to me it seems like that Mike Johnson ain't been wanting to do, not even a little bit, is crack that fucking opening to the Congress. I mean, and now you got to bring them back.
Yeah.
Now you got to let that lady from Arizona.
I don't think that matters. The Democrats are waging their bets on this woman coming in and getting access to the Epstein files. I really don't think with MAGA that shit really matter.
But I think it's deeper than the Epstein files. And now you get everybody that could, you know, even investigate the terrorists. You know, he has more power with them being out.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree with that, but I think that MAGA is invested in Trump to the point where I don't know if there's a lot that could come out on Trump where MAGA would be like, look, I'm done with this dude. Unless some seriously, significantly bad happens to them personally.
Well, I mean, you know, I know you don't like to say it, but I think one of your first callers was basically like, yeah, he lies. Yeah, that's bullshit. The 50-year mortgage, yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But he's my guy. The fuck, bro?
He absolutely said that.
Yeah, I mean, so you know, and I get it. You got to keep your audience, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I ain't King Finn or Gangsta Grandma, but like, you know, listen in. You're in a fucking code. Get the fuck out while you can, because this shit never ends well. I'm telling you that now. And hey, take it for what it is, but you're in a fucking code. Anytime you say some shit like that, there's no way you can justify that fucking thought. You know what I'm saying? Tim, you beat my ass.
I can't say that.
You give me black eyes. You know what I mean? You piss on me in the morning instead of going to the damn bathroom, but you're my guy. I'll be right there for you when you need me. What the fuck is it?
I don't have any answer for that. For the great, I gotta move on. I don't have any answer. I would try if I could, but I can't counter that. I appreciate you coming through though. Thank you.
Oh, wait.
No, anytime. All right, moving on with the program here real quick. Thank you folks that helped your boy with close to the TikTok cap goal. Close. And thank you there, Big Dog. Appreciate that. What is it? Great economy, says Grandy's Gardens. Well, Trump said it's the best economy we ever had. Big Dog. Disabled people are having to skip meals because of SNAP being taken away. Oh, but you don't feel it, so it doesn't really matter. See, lack of empathy. Yeah, that is what's happening, by the way, is that people who don't, on the right at least, because the liberals are different on this area, but people on the right that don't receive SNAP don't give a shit about those that do. They do, and they look, people on the right that do not receive SNAP and government assistance believe that most people that do receive government assistance is just simply being lazy and not working. That does seem to be the mindset of most people on the right, is that if you're receiving government assistance, it's your fault and your lack of motivation and incentive to work. Therefore, you don't, and that I actually believe folks on the right, if it was up for a vote, they would vote SNAP completely out of existence. There's some people on the right that would be like, look, those who need it should get it. But I do believe that if it was held up for a vote and only MAGA was involved in it, you would lose SNAP. I believe there's more MAGA that would vote to cancel SNAP than there are to keep it. Or it would be extremely limited. The parameters would be extremely dire. Okay, you can get SNAP, but you got to be making less than $500 a month. You could only be on it for 6 continuous months or 3 continuous months. You got to show you're looking for a job 3 times a day. It would be something like that. It would be almost impossible to maintain it. You'd have to be in some draconian position. That's what I believe. Now, I want to be wrong on that. I just don't think I am. It's because we are actually contributing members of society, not leeches, says DC. And that's the point I'm making, is that the MAGA side of the aisle believes that anybody on SNAP is not working, as he says, because we're contributing members of society. The point I'm trying to make to you is there are plenty of people on SNAP that are contributing members of society. They just work at a job that don't pay them that much. Simple as that. If you need a ride and you dial up, or better not dial is an old term. If you need a ride and you actually get on your phone and you actually schedule an Uber to come get you. If that Uber driver has 2 kids at home, especially if it's a single mom, that person is getting SNAP. They're contributing to society. They're taking you home in the Uber. They're getting you to your destination. Uber don't pay enough to take care of 2 kids. And there's a host of jobs out there that do not pay enough if you got a couple urchins at home. If you got a couple children at home, there's a host of jobs. I always use the Dollar Tree example. If you go to Dollar Tree to get some groceries, a person that's ringing up your groceries, a grown-ass person, if that person got a kid at home or 2 or 3 kids, that place is not paying them enough. They're probably getting SNAP in addition to that job. So the idea that they're not contributing to society is flat out wrong. A whole lot of people that you deal with and see and work with are not making enough money to survive, and they are contributing to society. You know what low-paying jobs are like. People can tell you what they do for a living, and you know from what they're telling you that's a low-paying job or it's not. There's school bus driver, fucking CNAs, LPNs even. If that's a single person with a kid or 2, most of those, as a CNA, you're not making enough at that job. I mean, it's a ton of those jobs out there like that. We're not talking about burger flipping. We're talking about actual jobs, factory workers and shit. You know that person ain't making enough money to pay a decent amount of rent and take care of a child, especially if they got to leave a kid in daycare. So certainly if they got a child that is under 5 with daycare expenses, now they really need some kind of assistance. There's tons of people like that out there. So the idea that they're not contributing to society is flat out wrong. But that is the MAGA mindset on that. I just want to tell you it's completely wrong. And I see in the comments somebody even said, "Don't need stats, bro. I lived it for a long time. Been lean in a few years, but I lived it around 1,000. Yeah, you and many others, including myself. I've never received SNAP, but I know what it's like to be like that. Anyhow, somebody said, can burger flippers not take care of their children? Well, burger flippers are usually, I'm not using the burger flipper term because many would suggest that burger flippers are jobs that are designed for, teenagers and things like that. But I'll tell you it is. Even the assistant manager or the manager at Taco Bell or Burger King who's an adult, they ain't making enough either. So all of the teams that they're the team leader, they're not making enough either to take care of a kid. And that's an adult job. So I appreciate the 107,000. Thank you folks for tapping the screen. You know how the program is ran. JPT Farms. Thank you. Appreciate that. You guys helping your boy out. I appreciate that, certainly. As always, we don't block, ban, or censor on this program. We're here just about most weekdays. If you favor this type of programming, feel free to give your boy a sub if you're watching on YouTube. Follow the program if you're currently watching on TikTok, Instagram, and or X. We're on all platforms simultaneously. Until then, thank you folks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. And I don't know what I did on YouTube, but thank you folks as well. We'll catch you guys on tomorrow's programming. Take care.